And I,
So just kind of in advance, I'm having kind of a bit of a bad day, so I'm a bit prickly. It's not your fault, and I'll try to like be nice, but I'm just
okay,
kind of having a bit of a shit time.
okay, understood.
No worries, Cross. Thanks. Okay, so welcome back, everybody. You guys have a most interesting task ahead of you, the House of Democracy. There will be a
Diplomacy.
time when you decide for yourself what that house does and what it looks like. But for now, House Fjarlin has asked that to take the shape of forming an auction. They are going to serve the information of Kara Irvath's whereabouts on a silver platter. But first, someone's got to pay out a lot of coin for it. And that's where you guys come in. You will be organizing the auction, ensuring that the guests, the people coming out to bid, have a good time. They're shown to an interesting venue, and they pay a lot of money as a important factor. You have come to the city of Korth within the nation of Karnath, and you have begun to prepare. You have ran into your House Fjarlin contact, who is a spy. His name is Adrian Scholl de Fjarlin, and he will be your main man, your main contact on behalf of the Serpentine Table, the secretive espionage faction of House Fjarlin at your service. You all made your decision based on the recommendation of what's his title here because it's cool, Wraith Adrian, to have your little party at a manor, and the manor belongs to, well, I'm going to tell you the name of right now for the sake of memory, uh, or maybe not. Uh, the Red Baron, I believe. No, not the Red Baron. Hang on. I'm gonna find it for you guys. It feels important. Um, General Vron Ear Mordock, the Crimson Butcher, as his name is. He is holding a ball, a gala of philanthropic tendency, of want to support the Karnathi military. It is here that you will, in secret, conduct the auction, is what your decision was. There's much to do. You want to talk to the people who are doing the bidding. You want to organize the security of the place, and you also want to check, uh, check the manor and see if it's right for you guys. That is largely where we are, except that we had a little inter-party conflict, it seems. Mwahaha. It seems that Cross has brought under his wing a new confidant and bodyguard who goes by the name. Oh my God, so many names. Where?
Shell.
Okay.
Shell, wasn't it? I thought it
It
was Shell.
was
Shell.
Shell. That's right. Sorry, I didn't catch the word. Yes, that is correct. Thank you very much. Sorry, there's a lot of names. Shell. The party was a lot of party members were immediately not very into Shell. Shell was very standoffish, didn't wish to speak to the rest of the party. There were some demands of Cross that his bodyguard could undergo basically a background check to be looked over, which Cross did not take lightly. He sort of left in a huff that he was being singled out like this, and it was unfair. And the party went into a very interesting discussion about singling out people and so on and so forth. And certain decisions were made about how best to handle that in the future. That is largely where we have picked up so far. So let us go to the next phases of the um, of our wonderful game here. So first and foremost, reputation. You all are going to gain a reputation point here in Karnath. You have all been seen sort of mingling amongst high society. You've been polite to the larger society. There's been a bit of mystery. A touch of mystery is very important to being interesting in society. So all of you will gain a reputation point to your Karnathi influence here, which I will deal with in the sheets in due time. But first and foremost, let us continue. I'm going to say no rumors as of yet. We're going to skip the rumor phase here. You guys are still very new and immediately got right down to work. You haven't heard any rumors as of yet here in Karnath. No tokens of favor. So we'll just hit right into the epistolary phase. Is there any letters anyone would like sent? Or yeah, is there any letters anyone would like sent?
I've always sent my dad the letters, but like, yeah, I'll be coming around soon with some guests.
Beauty, 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 beauty. And his response would probably go to Onder if there was a response. So
Okay.
yeah. That might get reposted, but we'll have to
knows?
see. I'll probably take some time.
It's okay.
Does anybody else have any messages they want to send? No, that's okay. All right, we're gonna zoom by over here. You guys have been a little. I'm skipping the rumor phase. You guys have been a little internal right now. You haven't talked to many members of the Karnathi Society, but that's probably going to change very soon. So, but yes. And before we start today, as I said, I want to kind of have these little talks before the beginning, just little words here. This time, I think it'll just be a fun a character question about your characters. So let me think here. What would be good for this one? Something to warm up with. Let's go through here. Something that isn't too revealing, as this is that kind of game. But we're kind of being. So you know what? Actually, I will say in the interest of the idea of metagaming, there's obviously a lot of information here. People are talking in private information that we, the players, know, but our characters do not. So in the interest of that and separating those things, let's delve into our characters' core moral beliefs. So I'm going to go around the table. And we don't have to hear your entire philosophy to life, but maybe one or your character's most core moral belief. So let's go around here. I'll start with Ludwig. I'm picking and choosing here a little bit. Ludwig, what would you say your character's core moral belief is?
Okay, you're gonna try to find a way to test it, probably.
Oh yeah, I'm going to use all this. Absolutely.
Sentient life is important, and it should be preserved as much as possible, as practically possible.
As practically possible?
As practically possible. Like, look, sometimes you gotta kill a fucker, okay?
Very Karnathi of you. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. So life has purpose and it should be protected for that reason. Very well. That's fair. Very Karnathi. I like that. Good job. Okay. Holden, I'm going to pick on you. Holden, what do you think Holden's core moral belief is?
Yeah, I would say that Holden's core moral belief is that he believes in natural human equality, but he doesn't believe that that's a natural tendency for people. And so, in order to achieve equality, one has to make a concerted effort to, I guess, level the playing field between the haves and the have-nots.
Fair enough. So morality isn't something that comes to people naturally and needs to be sort of fought for. Or yeah, very cool. Interesting. Rowan, I'm going to pick on you next. How about you?
That war is the stupidest of mankind's activities, and that it's completely unnecessary when people's needs are genuinely met and people are willing to work cooperatively. That there's no reason for people to go without, and if there's no reason for people to go without, there's no reason for war except greed.
War is bad. That's fair. That's
What's it
perfect.
good for?
Yeah, what's it good for? Okay. Why don't we hit up uh Lady DeCivis or Lady Leora now these days? What is Lois's core moral belief? You're muted, by the way.
There are skeletons in every closet, and they shouldn't remain that way.
Hell yeah. All right. We got that reporter sensibility there. We like that. Everyone's got skeletons and everyone should see them. Like it. And last but not least, Cross. What would you say Cross's core moral belief is?
Um, trying to find the way to word this.
However you want.
Certainly going to be the most interesting one, I think.
I don't want me personally. I'm not in for like extreme like viewpoints. This is very different for me, but
Yeah.
I guess Cross kind of. I know this one was a diplomatic way of putting it. The world wasn't made for him, so he's to make it himself.
Right. That's a very interesting Warforged based philosophy. Very interesting. Okay. Very cool. Very revealing, very vulnerable sensibilities, and all things that we should yeah, we can consider outside the game, but we gotta keep to ourselves in game. There's gonna be a lot of meta stuff, so we gotta be careful to separate. And fantastic. Thanks everybody for coming along on this little journey. But let's get to it. So, if I'm not mistaken, let's see here. You guys found yourselves at the, what are we calling it here? The King's Grace Inn. That is where you find yourselves today. This lavish Carnathi inn for only the fairest and most aristocratic. You have some things on your plate. It's worth noting that Adrian has, given you all missives to do these things that you want to do. Visit the bidders and also the estate whenever anyone is ready.
All right. I'm not sure where we are at the current moment, if it's morning or whatever, but
It's afternoon. It's like it's afternoon, a little past midday.
is it the day after we had that conversation with that I had that testy conversation with Cross?
No, it is not. Oh yeah, you guys went out and explored a little bit and came back. So I would say it's about mid-afternoon. So it's same day. Yeah, you guys haven't slept yet.
Okay, same day. Got it. Um,
You have a couple days to get it all figured out. So if your characters decided that it's been a long travel and your feet are sore and all that, you certainly could take the night.
How
oh,
much time do we have until the auction, till the party?
There was, I think the idea was that you would have 3 days upon stepping foot in Korth. So you guys have, the rest of this day, a couple hours of this day, and then 2 more days.
Okay. I'm probably. Oh, I guess I would want to meet with. I'm sorry, I forgot the name of our contact.
His name
Sterling
is
contact.
Adrian.
Adrian. Yeah.
I would want to meet with Adrian and see, if it's possible to. Well, not if it's possible. See how we can go about setting up, a private meeting or private meetings with the bidders prior to the auction, and if I could get one in this evening, that would be great. If that's not possible, that's fine.
He has already delivered to you guys addresses and has let you know that they're all available for meeting with today.
Sweet.
So you're good to meet any one of them at any point today as you wish.
Okay, well, I'll be happy to let anybody else go and do what they want to do, but I would like to meet with the bidder from House Lyrandar this evening for dinner, if possible.
Got it. Which one did you want to meet, sir?
Lyrandar.
Okay, excellent. So I will let you know who our Lyrandar friend is in a moment here. Yeah, you're gonna meet with Lyrandar. Yes, Rowan, you had your hand up.
I'm so sorry to be slow. Today we just stepped foot off, and today is day one, and tomorrow is day two, and also tomorrow is the day of the auction. Am I understanding this correctly, please?
No, today is day one. Tomorrow is day two. The day after is day three, and then the auction. You can negotiate with the Baron, but the auction would be the night of day three, or the warlord, not the
All right, no, I completely misunderstood. So it's set that the auction is very definitely the end of the third night, yeah? For sure.
It's the end of the third night. You guys haven't met with the warlord yet. If you guys had some reason why you needed to push it back, some like really, you could go and try and negotiate.
No. I think I'm confusing things, and that's why I'm clarifying. That's all. So thank you. So again, it's today is day one, and then there's gonna be day two, and then the next day is day three. And at the end of day three, there's gonna be a gala, and that's what, thank you. I'm slow.
No problem. Cool.
Okay. Do we also want to go over who's meeting with who and the three main things we need to tell people, because Eric laid that out. It's how the price tag, how they're going to get the info, the timeline on that after they theoretically buy it, and what's the third one?
They're gonna have three questions, and they're the same base three questions. You know, what is their security going to be like, since this is a clandestine event? The second thing is, you know, how is the auction itself going to function, as far as, you know, as far as that sort of thing is concerned. And thirdly, if they are the high bidder, what's the ETA on getting their hands on the goods? The same thing that anybody wants for any clandestine auction. You know, when do you know, how do I pay you? When do I get my loot? Am I safe? Same stuff that everybody asks. Now, each of these folks are going to have their own particular slant on those questions. And that will be on us as the liaisons to you know, handhold them and make sure that they feel like they're pretty and they're special.
Okay, so beyond the price tag, it's how long it's going to take to get the info if they win. It's what are the other two? I'm sorry.
Let them ask the questions.
Okay.
I mean, really, it's let them ask the questions. You'll get asked all three. I guarantee it. Absolutely guarantee it.
I have a point of clarification about that, actually. So the $5,000 that we know is the buy-in. I don't know why I've got this idea that it's being taken as like a cover charge for the gala, and that's it's being filtered out backwards. Did I make that up in my brain? I know that there has to be a way that we're telling them to bring the cover.
Right.
The cover is being done. They've got a uh, a notary document from House Civis already that is for the cover. They fill it in, it gets notarized, it goes to House Civis, Civis verifies it, and then I would imagine the banking house is going to
Gunnar.
move
Dark, yeah.
move buckets from this vault to that vault, and it's all on paper somewhere.
Okay.
And are we presenting the papers and such for them to be signing? Or
I think they've already got them.
So they already have them. They're going to give them to us.
Yep.
So we're just telling them how much they're paying in.
And
they're either giving us their papers or not. Oh, all right, yeah, for sure.
Easy.
How much is it again?
Hand hold it in it and make them feel special and pretty. That's our job.
It's 5,000 to participate in the big,
yep.
and then
Okay.
the bidding goes from there.
Okay, 5,000.
Also, since the ambassador is going to be the auctioneer, we had assigned him as liaison to Thrashek, but would it be better off to reassign that if he's going to be the auctioneer? So that he could just that he could just be auctioneer. All right. If it doesn't matter, then it doesn't matter.
I mean, it's entirely up to Cross, but I don't think that.
About the same, I don't see a conflict there, so it's fine.
And like the only thing that I was worried about is like while you're doing the auctioneering, if they wanted to pass something to, I just wanted them to have some, like, not trying to get in the way. If you think it's good, it's good. I'm good. It's all good.
Yeah. I think House Fjarlin has other staff at this event, so they'll have ushers and things like that, I'm sure.
Yeah, I know. I'm just along the lines of making them feel pretty and such, right? If he's making sweet love to the microphone, he might not be making, the finder feel pretty. That's all I'm saying.
Oh,
but by the time that he's doing that particular job,
we don't care if they feel pretty.
They either feel pretty or they don't.
Fair enough.
So,
if they walk away, they just walk away.
All right, no, it's all right.
Okay.
Also, I assume this is going to be at the side. Like they're having a gala. We're going to step to the side. We're going to do this in a little side room.
Yes.
Excellent. All right. I feel like I get it. Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay, it's mid to late afternoon, I suppose. Mid-afternoon, I guess. Ludwig will take Soren aside and say, "Well, do you mind if we went out for a bit of a walk? If that's all right by you, Soren?"
Of course, Lord Viceroy.
Yeah. Then I tell the others I tell Lois and Canna and Rowan that I'll be back. I'm just going to go out for a little bit. So I'll be back if I'm not back by midnight. Start looking for me. You should be concerned. I should be okay.
Oh, nonsense! This is Parnath. It's plenty safe.
Is Holden back already? I know he went out.
Oh, I don't know if he went out yet. I was planning dinner, so
yeah, you guys are all back by the time that Adrian returns with the missives. So
okay, and I did go out. That's right.
I did go also.
Thank you for the reminder.
Yeah. Okay. I'll be out. I'll be back tonight. I promise. And he'll change into less conspicuous clothing and see himself out.
So you do. So we got Holden on Lyrandar, Ludwig's taking the air. Who else has stuff to do?
Rowan would like to meet with Kenneth West.
Okay. Got Kenneth West. Is there a plan for Loisana or Cross?
I'm going to send letters requesting a breakfast meeting with the folks from the Eyes von Dare and a lunch meeting with the folks from Canis South. Was South? Yes, Rowan? Aren't we serfs? Okay.
If I've
Merrick's,
been
yeah.
if I've been given the location of like where to meet with Thrash, then I'll take care of that now.
Okay. Yep, Thrash. That's one note, is you'll be interested, perhaps, Lois. Adrian will say, I actually have some news about, sorry, I'm trying to remembering where he's from. Right. He goes, I actually have strange news about House Canis South. The missive that I received is that they will not be taking part in the bid.
Oh. Wow.
They have stepped down from... They seem to not have interest, despite their invitation.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Very
I
interesting.
will pass it along to the rest. But thank you for the update.
No problem, of course. If there's anything else any of you need, please let me know. I will make myself... I'll make my way over to the estate. And if anyone at any point wants to visit, I will be there to escort. And he'll set off.
He'll be at the
Crimson Butcher's estate.
Yeah, Crimson Butcher's estate.
Yeah, if anyone wants to meet the butcher, walk around.
I'll tell him I'll do that tomorrow. I plan on meeting him tomorrow.
Very well. I will send a message letting him know, and then I will simply stay here at the King's Grace in case you require me for any reason.
Thank you.
Okay.
And before I head on out, Rowan, I know you want me to meet with the leader of Kenneth East. Do you want me to do that tonight or tomorrow?
Whatever you think is best.
Now that I think about it, I think it's best to what's his name? What's his name again? Zorlon. Yeah, Zorlon, the big fellow. Yes. I think I might get the most unpleasant task out of the way, and try to have dinner with him tonight. And Ludwig will just go over everything that he needs to tell Zorlon.
Got it. Yeah, you'll take some time and prepare yourself for the meeting. That's nothing wrong with that. That's just good planning right there. Excellent. Okay. Sounds like we have our things. Does anybody particularly wish to go first? Then I will pick and choose.
I'll volunteer to go first then.
Okay, sure. While everybody's setting off to divide and conquer, Viceroy Ludwig, you go for a little walk around Korth.
No, I mean, the Crimson about the Zorlon of Kenneth East.
Oh, so we're going to go see Kenneth.
Yeah, I'm going to handle the thing I was going to do today. I'll handle it in the morning tomorrow.
Understood. Okay. Let me see here. Click on something. Just make sure I'm getting my ducks in a row here. You head off and you open the missive. There's not much information on it. It's literally just like a scroll who you're meeting with, like their location. It's just very basic information. There's no letter about it. And you would see that you are actually not meeting with the Baron himself. You are meeting with a representative of his house known as Valen the Kenneth.
Valen de Kenneth, I see.
Valen de Kenneth, that is right. Where is Valen staying? I'm going to get that information for you too. He is actually staying in the House Cannith Enclave. Here. Let's see here. I'm just getting some information for you. Okay. Beautiful. All right. Okay. You come upon this citadel. True to Karnathi ambitions, it looks like a little bit of a military fort. It's clearly a place of artifice, however. There are clear signs of advanced technologies keeping the place running. There is a big factory across the street, which no doubt belongs to the Fabricators Guild. But you walk in to the headquarters of House Cannith East, where champions of cutting-edge innovation and arcane engineering make their stronghold here and conduct their business across all of Eastern Corvair. Much the same as House Thurani, they are dominating the eastern side of this place. Let's see. You enter into the Grand Hall, where you will see a high-ceiling chamber lined with adamantine pillars. Very, not really part of Karnathi tradition. It's very, what's the word? Garish, something like that. It's a word like that. It's a little much. It is dark, like what the Karnathi, sort of vibe is, but nonetheless a little extra. The hammer and anvil insignia hangs high, and the floor consists of an intricate mosaic of shifting gears and arcane circuits below what must be some glass-plated floor. There is definitely an ostentatiousness of presentation to this place, and that would probably completely shock and wow the common man here in Korth. At the far end of the hall, there is a massive throne-like chair made of black steel and with dragon shards meant to be set into it. It is currently empty, unfortunately, but it is set up long, almost like a military war table, as you have seen your fair share. But you are going to, hello, welcome, who are you trying to see? Oh, right this way, blah, blah, blah. You go through this whole process. And you are brought to a sitting room. Let's see what it's called. You are brought to an underground chamber in the Citadel, known as the Forge Cathedral. It is a mix of the beating heart of the Enclave's industry, where you can hear the great artifice and forge work of House Cannith at work in the facilities around. But largely, this serves as almost like a holy place to forge craft, to smithing itself, but more importantly, to the Bloodful. You make your way down there, and rising from one of the front pews, you are going to see the man you're meant to meet. All right. You see this. This is a older to middle-aged individual. His hair's grayed. He's very handsome, though. He has a thick but well-groomed beard, a nice part to his hair. Though he does wear the insignias of House Cannith, he does wear fine armor and the colors of Karnath. There is a nationalism to this individual that is mixed with House Cannith sensibilities. I'm working on a handout for you right now, but in the meantime, he'll come up to you and shake your hand and say, you'll say, "Good afternoon. Welcome to Karnath. I am led to believe that you are." He'll put a hand up and he'll wave to the assistants, the people in the hall. Even the priests will all find their way out. He says, "We can speak freely in this place now. I have arranged it. Who are you?"
You, you may call me Ludwig. If you'd like, sir, I can have my bodyguard standing outside if you'd like.
Is he aware of the circumstance? You are
He-
organizing.
he's aware. He's aware of why I'm here. If it's better, if you would feel better with it, I'm happy. I can happily ask him to stand outside.
I'm not so used to this cloak and dagger business, so whatever you think is best.
And with that, he'll ask Soren to stand outside the room, just outside the room, if he could.
He will nod, and he will report outside and close the door behind him.
And I'll take Vielen, correct?
Valen.
Valen.
Yes.
I take Valen along and sit him down on one of the pews. And I know that you and people you represent are interested in asking questions. I have questions that want answered.
Okay.
I mean,
Who are you?
uh, I know.
Want to know your name?
My name. You may call me Ludwig.
Good to meet you, Ludwig. Is this some kind of interrogation?
No. I know that I received your missive, and you received your message about Okay, above the table, Ryan. Remind me. He knows about House Fiolin, right?
Let's see here. Yeah, I mean he's attending. Yeah, yes.
Good. You're interested in the auction?
I was led to believe I was attending the auction.
Yes. Not tonight, no, but I have some here to help relay your concerns and answer some questions you might have.
Yes, please. I've been waiting for someone to give me any sort of information about what is going on.
Well, I'm sorry. Well, hopefully these will give you some of the answers you seek. The auction will be the night after tomorrow. Not tomorrow night, the night after, at the home of the Crimson Butcher. He'll be having a gala there.
I see.
You may attend, but I must tell you that the charge for attending this special event within a special event will be 5,000 gold pieces.
I will have I'll have something. Who should I have it addressed to? To Fialin.
To Fialin through Civis.
Oh, you wish me to use the Notary Guild?
Yes, the Notary Guild.
Very well. I can definitely extend a bill of credit for the 5,000.
Yes, and Ryan also explained to him, like, go to this and this, and Kudok will be doing this.
He knows how bills of credit work.
Exactly.
He'll organize it.
Exactly.
Yes, I'll have one signed and sent to House Fialin before the end of the night.
Exactly. And finally, if you or your representative do succeed at the auction in buying this item, it will be delivered to you within 24 hours after the check clears. Lack of a better term.
Okay, that's excellent news. What is happening? Is the auction at the manor? Is there?
It will be in the manor.
Is this?
It will be.
So the Baron will be hosting, or excuse me, the Warlord will be hosting this auction. I was led to believe there was supposed to be some secrecy of it.
There will be secrecy of it. You will be at the auction. You will come to the gala, enjoy yourself for some time, but when the hour comes, you will be pulled aside to a separate area or room where you and the others will be. We'll try and claim what you want.
Very well. Okay. This is This has been very thorough. I want you to make me a persuasion check to see if you can convince him that you know what you're doing.
Okay. Okay.
Convince him of your competence.
Okay. Comes in. Okay, hold on. 23.
Very good. Yeah, you kind of sat him down and caught him off guard a little bit with you were like, all right, I got questions and I need answering. And he was like, oh.
No, you have questions. You have questions that you need answered.
Yeah, but your sort of directness and your sort of authority, in not all nations would that serve you well, but it does here in Karnath. It is a very dominating warrior-like place. So as you sort of settled into, telling him the information and being very direct about it, it seems to sit well with him, and he seems kind of impressed. And he goes, "Well, you've been very thorough. I admit, the questions I had were answered. Thank you."
Do you have any other? Are you sure there are no others that you might want to ask?
Is how will this work? Is this do we show up and have the auction and leave? Is there is this a formal event? What's exactly?
It will be a formal event. It's a fundraiser. Perhaps you might be occasion to bring along a date, perhaps, to enjoy yourself.
Ah.
And because even if perhaps unfortunately things may not go your way, it can still be a pleasurable night for you and perhaps someone else.
Oh, I'm sure things will go my way. If my intention is for it to very much go my way. That's I thank you, Ludwig. If I may ask, I thought House Vialin was mainly comprised of elves, but you seem human.
Yes, I am human, and the island has many friends. Let's just say that.
Oh, very spooky. Very well. Yes. No. I'll sure. I'll bring. I'll bring a date to a secret auction.
No, not to the auction. No. That's just a side suggestion if you want to enjoy the night properly, and if you want to bring someone else there, but not to the auction. If you want to go by yourself, don't.
So is this going to be a sort of I'm not understanding. Why would I bring a date to a secret auction?
It's not. I'm joking. I meant to the gala itself.
Oh, there's a gala.
Yes, the gala.
Oh, you didn't say
yes,
anything about the gala.
I thought I did. I thought it clearly did. My mistake. I'm happy to inform you there's going to be a gala the night after tomorrow.
Excellent. As all becoming to make sense. All right, very well. I'll bring someone to the gala. So there's going to be a gala and then a secret auction at the gala.
Yes. You bring them aside. They'll be brought aside later in the night to a side room somewhere, and that was where the auction will be between. And I recommend only bring yourself there.
Very well. I will do this. Yes. Well, thank you for you've been most thorough. I have no other questions.
And it's at the Manor of the Crimson Butcher.
Yes, you said that. Yes.
Just making clear. Of
course. If you wish, I could probably have a bill of credit signed now, if you wanted.
Yep, it would be 5,000. It's 5,000, right, Ryan?
Yeah.
5,000. If you'd want, I could do it if you want. If you insist on it.
Just wait. If it's okay, you wait here, and I will be back in 5 minutes.
Happily, Ludwig will wait. He'll tell someone to just stand by, and he'll just meditate. Because it's been a while since he's been in a temple to the Blood of Vol.
Absolutely, you do so. Take some time, meditate. As one does not worship at the Blood of Vol altar, because that's not what the religion's about.
It's not.
No, it is more of a philosophical religion than an actual deific-based religion.
It's true, but it's like it's been a while since I've been in a place like this. It
Absolutely.
adds to the mood, you know.
Absolutely. So you take some time, you contemplate the importance of your own blood, your own soul, your own life, as there's nothing more important than your life. For when it is done, it is done. And after about 5 minutes, indeed, our good gentleman, Lord Valen, will return, and he will hand you, which you've only handled probably a couple in your life. You're not used to like dealing with like large sums of finance before, but he hands to you a very official bill of credit that is officiated and marked by House Kandark and House Sims.
Excellent. Let's go. Good luck tomorrow night, Lord Valen.
Well, thank you very much. I will see you the night after tomorrow.
Yes, not tomorrow night. This is night 1. Tomorrow is night 2, and night 3 is when the gala is at the Manor of the Crimson Butcher. I'm just trying to make. I don't want you to be late.
What time does it start then?
Did Adrian mention when it started?
Nope. Nobody's met with the Crimson Butcher yet, so nobody knows the details of the gala.
Yes. Lord Valen. Well, my lord. I'm Lord Valen. I'll have Civis have his sending sent to you.
Very well. Okay. Civis is known for their discretion, I suppose. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Good and best of luck to you.
Best of luck to you.
And I'll bid him adieu.
You bid him adieu when you take off.
And A+ like Russian accent, Ryan.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Some
many
nights I
hours?
struggle with some nights I think I do a better job.
How many hours practicing that in a mirror?
Well, I didn't practice in the mirror. I don't need the mirror much for but a couple. Definitely a couple of YouTube videos in there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, moving right along. Who has ambitions of going next? I will pick and choose. Let's see here. Which ones do I have complete? Oh, there it is. Let's do... Did anyone say they were seeing House Deneth? I don't think anyone said that they wanted to see Deneth.
Yes, in the morning. Rowan's got Kenneth West tonight, and specifically Deneth in the morning.
Beautiful. Lois, you were gonna see...
I was going to see both on the morrow. The Eyes of Undair. I'm inviting them here to the hotel for a morning meeting, and then an afternoon lunch meeting
Beautiful.
with the folks from well, actually just them, because the folks from Kenneth South aren't coming. So
yeah, fair enough.
But I did drop you a DM. I don't know if you saw it.
I'll take a look. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, I'll make this easy. Who's seeing someone this evening? Cross.
Cross is as well.
Beautiful. Cross, who are you seeing?
Thrash.
Thrash. Beautiful. I finished their handout in time, so we can do Thrash.
Okay.
Let's do Thrash. Oh no, wait, I didn't. But I'll do it as we're talking. It's all good. Oh no, wait, I did. I'm certain I did. Hang on a second. No, I didn't. I'm fucking tool. Okay. So you will be meeting with one Zorlin de Thrash, who is going to be staying at a little bit of a lesser inn, not quite as nice as the King's Grace. I'm just gonna go figure out what that is. No, he's not. He's hanging out at the Silver Hook Tavern, which is kind of a dockside tavern. which is like, yeah, you're like, oh, very thrashed, I guess. And you make your way to what would be considered one of the lower districts, not the slums, but certainly the lower districts, the wharf. And you enter into, yeah, it's this sailor, very Prussian, very Prussian sailory tavern. It's very glum. Um, you know, all those sailors in their like sort of like rubbery clothes, like sealskin outfits to like keep out the water and whatnot. And lo and behold, you do see a half orc sitting at a table nearby, looking about as formal as a Thrash person tends to look, which is not to say too formal. He, in fact, looks like he looks a little like a barbarian. He looks a little fucking crazy. He's got this long leather coat with this like brownish, like grizzly bear fur lined, like topper, and he's wearing like a number of necklaces with a number of like large fangs hung off of it, scar across the face. This guy looks like a fucking Rome warrior. Like this guy's, you're like, this is a surprising diplomat and bitter to have sent, but here we are.
I approach.
You approach. He's got one of those big flagons, and a little ale dribbling down his mouth, and he puts it down, wipes it away, turns around, looks over at you, and he goes, "Can I help you?"
Greetings. My name is Cross de Leora. I'm here regarding an invitation you received.
Ah, all right, fine. And he'll stand up, about a foot taller than you. He's a big guy, and he says, and you guys, you follow him walking out of the tavern, and he literally just like takes you down the alley, and then like leans up against the wall, and says, he goes, "All right, let's do this. What do you want? What happens now?"
Well, before I can give you any further details, there is the matter of the entry fee. The auction has a 5,000 gold piece buy-in.
I didn't hear about any auction fee. We're trying to take something off the top.
These are the terms, and I would strongly recommend that you, specifically your house, take them. You have the most to lose here.
Make a persuasion or intimidation check. Is your choice.
Looks like that's persuasion. As I roll terribly, that's a 14.
He sort of like leans in, kind of sniffs kind of the air around you. He says, "You smell like smoke and magic."
I'm regretfully a victim of the morning. Little I can do about it.
If you're taking something off the top, you just have to say. I don't judge. He kind of grins at you. What are you saying?
The benefactor desires a higher turnover for such a valuable item.
It's fair. Would you like, then, to take something off the top for yourself, de Leora? Never heard of a dragon-marked warforged before. You're fascinating.
While I appreciate such an offer, my colleagues have been testing my patience as of late. So, best keep my nose squeaky clean for now.
Or perhaps there is an option where we can help each other.
Are you asking me to rig the auction in your favor?
I never said that. But is that a suggestion?
We'll see. I mean, what did you have in mind?
If you're here, you're probably involved somehow. Depending on your involvement, perhaps I might be willing to go around House Thrash a bit to ensure victory for my house. They want to, much like you, keep their nose clean. But in case you haven't seen half orc, we don't have very clean looking noses, do we?
I wouldn't make that observation. I've only just met you.
Why don't we just get this over with, deal with this, find some way to help one another? I want an edge in the auction. That much is clear, just like any of the others. The only difference is I'm willing to do what must be done to ensure that my house gets what it needs. And you sound like you need some influence with your house, yes?
Mm.
So, let's help each other. The Leora, you said? I've not heard of that house.
New mark, new house.
Perhaps new alliances are required. House Thrash could be a good ally. We are, after all, new house as well. Well, we're the newest house. Perhaps there is much to be gained in Drome or Dargoon. Nope, Drome, that's the one. That's where I'm from. There's many ways we could go about this. I'm curious if you want to get creative.
For me personally, there is something I would need from House Thrash. Someone found, so call it a favor. Is what I would ask. As for what I might offer you, above the table, do I know where the other houses are staying?
You would Cross have thought to look at all the various missives before leaving? Got all the information before heading out?
I flip a coin on that.
Yeah, go for it.
Just for clarity's sake, I will. Where the hell is it?
Or you just roll dice.
I was going to share the screen, but I can't do it. Actually, yeah, just odds or evens.
It's your choice, yeah. Odds or evens.
I'll go odds.
Cool.
13. You looked.
You looked okay. Yeah, you're aware of where the various bidders are staying.
And which kind of houses is Zolan in again?
He is in East.
Yeah. I could give you the location of where one of the other competitors are staying. And what you do with that, I don't much care.
I do like the way you think. I was simply going to ask that you let me bid a little higher than what I've been authorized to bid for. And maybe we have a collection plan or deal in favors or some other way. But you let me outbid, and then we would talk about payment later, perhaps, between me and you. But this works too. You could find a way to cut down the amount of people coming to the auction.
I'll even give you the name of one of the ones most likely to bid aggressively. Kenneth East.
Kenneth East. Why do you think that is? It seems that they'd be the least invested in Kari Irvath being a world away.
kind of this fraction is a battleground vying for control over the whole house. Whoever gets Kara, you could say, gets something of a mandate, or at least gets the ball rolling in their court.
I see. These are some great ideas, and I see that you're willing to wheel and deal. You know what? Why don't we both sit on it? I'll pay you the 5,000 you're asking for, but we'll meet in the middle. Talk about it tomorrow, maybe.
Very well. Payment is a line of credit sent to, well, I did not speak the name of their name, should they stab me in the back, but you know who we're really dealing with.
He'll pull out a crumpled piece of paper, flatten it out against the wall, and fill it out with a pen, and he'll hand you a crumpled bill of a bill of credit with 5,000.
And I pocket that. Very well. The event is to be held at the. Hold on a second. I'm trying to remember information.
Yeah. Crimson Butcher.
The Crimson Butcher's Gala.
All right. Got it.
You'll be pulled aside midway through the event and taken to a private room where the other guests will be, and the auction will be held there.
Can I ask you something?
Of course.
Other than your house, Leora, is Fjarlin going to witness the auction itself?
I believe so.
Be convenient if they didn't. For your house and mine, perhaps. We'll talk. I like talking to you.
Sadly, it's Fjarlin itself that holds the information and is handling the payment. If Fjarlin feels there's foul play afoot, we all get nothing.
We'll see if we can be creative. Thank you. What was your name?
Cross.
Cross. I'll see you tomorrow.
I'll see you tomorrow.
He'll head back inside.
I'll head back to where we're staying.
Like they gravitate towards you, these diabolical folks.
Who?
Wow, dude.
Hey, he's not going to be the first person who gets an offer, and certainly not the last.
Yeah. There are ways to get rid of the people we don't like. Get them against each other.
Well, technically, and I'm the head of security, but then again, I'm not the head of. I'm the head of security once they get there, not before they get there.
Yeah, it's hard to secure your house against your own house. It's a little, you can only do so well. You're one guy. You don't have security.
How can they accuse? What are they gonna say? You saw about they're the house of finding. Yeah. Their job is to. You would say hidden from the house of. Sure, whatever.
Okay, Holden, you had someone you were going to meet tonight. Man, the only I was kind of running a little behind getting my what the fuck? Getting my handouts ready. The last two I hadn't gotten done was Thrashk and Lyrandar, so those are on the way. But yes, let's deal with you, Viceroy. Then, very cool. I'm gonna just go see where we might find this person. We'll see they're hanging around the airship docks. So House Lyrander's airship docks, that would be a logical place for them to be hanging out. You find your way there to probably the higher portion of the district. It's not actually listed in Korth, but you better believe there is one in every capital. So find your way over there. As usual, you see the the high-rise docks, sort of up above all of the buildings themselves, and probably near the dock, as many of them are capable of water travel. And yeah, you make your way over there. Let's see, where is your inventory? You go through the hims and haws of getting the people. It's worth putting out there, folks, is that there is definitely like a password, or there's an excuse for why you're meeting these people, to keep it on the down low. But yeah, you're gonna go meet a person known as Milsara Thurani is their name.
Nosara Thurani?
Milsara Thurani. That's right. I'm gonna get you a handout promptly. Malasara, excuse me. My God, these names. Malasara.
Malasar. Well, that sounds menacing.
Okay. Let's see here. I'm just getting you her info.
Sure. Take
real
your time.
quick. Let's see here. Melisara. Okay. You got me scrambling now because you're like sounds intimidating. I'm like, shit, I gotta find something intimidating now. I can't just give you any little half elf bro. Okay. I found one. I found one I like. You find this, yeah, you're expecting this like kind of intimidating, deadly sort of sounding individual. And you come into one of the offices where you find this beautiful half-elven woman, truly gorgeous. She is wearing a blue dress that comes to sort of gilded golden points. It is mostly backless, and it doesn't extend too low below the upper thigh. It's very tasteful, but still showing off some skin. She does have these like little decorative black chains wrapped around off of her shoulders. She's wearing a collar with some of them sort of decoratively falling along her open back. She has platinum, almost white blonde hair that is coming to like an intricate bun and braids that dips down all the way like almost to the ground in one instance. And she has the mark of House Lyrandar, the mark of storms across her face. There is something about her that's very sharp and angular, very sort of decisive. She's not a fluffy individual. There's a keen intelligence behind her eye that almost kind of makes you start when you look at her. It's so strange. There's something almost familiar in the way she looks. She looks at you, and she will stand up and say, "Lady Malasara, and who are you?"
Nice to meet you. I'm Viceroy Holden Delora of course, House Delora. And I'm here on behalf of House Fairland regarding the invitation you received to this week's event.
She'll gesture for you to sit. She'll sit as well. Please.
All right. Again, nice to meet your acquaintance. I've been essentially assigned to be your personal liaison for yourself and for House Lyrandar through this event, and to make sure that you're comfortable and that you are well advised and that you have everything that you need in order to go into the auction feeling comfortable with your decisions and your place amongst the other bidders. Now, the first thing that we'll need to do is, and he takes out the notarized thing for the $5,000 payment, and I'll kind of slide it across the desk to her, and I'll say, it's been decided that each of the handful or so of individuals who will be who have been invited to participate. In order to participate, will need to, because of the value of the information being shared, will need to present 5,000 non-refundable gold pieces to House Fjarlin as a token of goodwill.
She'll nod, and she will. She doesn't take her eyes off of you, like she's studying you thoroughly, and she, without looking, signs the bill in a number of places and moves it across the table back to you.
Can I tell? Am I able to tell whether, I guess, the nature of her focus on me, positive or negative?
Make me an insight check.
15.
15. She's studying you, and she's not making much attempt to hide it either. She's almost kind of there's a bit of an underlying conversation with words as you're starting to begin to hear that conversation. She's like studying every piece of you, and I want to give you a little more insight into that. Let's see here. You see her eyes sort of studying the curves of your face, and you also see like it's very slight, but you can kind of catch it in elves and half elves because the point of their ears. At the very, you learn to sort of like see this in the elven folk. At the very tip of their ears, you can kind of see just a little bit of movement that tells you like that they're listening somewhat intensely, and she is at this moment. And she's studying your voice in the words you're saying far more than she really needs to be for some reason. And again, your appearance. She's like committing to mind all of these things about you.
Okay. All right. I will continue. And we've never met before. I have to be terribly honest. I'm relatively, as you know, our house is relatively new. I'm relatively new to this world and to this part of the country. And I don't know you well. But I thought that maybe we could spend some time to get to know each other a little. As we're somewhat of, well, certainly not partners, but something of companions throughout this process.
Smiles. Finally kind of breaking the tension. She says, I would like Holden, you said.
Holden. And I'm sorry, you said Malasara?
Malasara, yes, that is correct.
Again, it's very nice to meet you. All right. Obviously, the topic of the information is not a pleasant one for anyone. And so I apologize if the rest of this conversation, at times, if I'm not carefully wording things enough, if it seems insensitive or a little brutish, but I feel like we can be candid with each other about the value of this information for House Lyrindar. Obviously, it was the incident in question was by far most detrimental to House Lyrindar, not just in the loss of life, which a number of different houses experienced, but also in the public eye. It has to, I'm sure, have shaken the public's confidence in travel with House Lyrindar. I believe, let me recheck my list. House Orion is not here. However, I can't believe that they're not, wringing their hands with a little bit of spiteful glee at the idea that airship travel seems a little less safe these days. Um, Obviously, these are all things that we would like to sweep under the rug as easily as possible. And in my view, uh, one of the most convenient ways to be able to do that is for House Lavendar to be able to take a very active role in getting to the bottom of this terrible event and displaying to everyone, to the other houses, to the local governments, to the public, that they are capable of essentially, if you'll pardon the phrase, handling their own business. It would, in my opinion, be unfortunate, give an unfortunate, be an unfortunate display if someone else were to walk out of this auction with this information and leave House Lyrandar once again at the mercy of someone else's assistance. I simply looking over the participants, I don't see any reason why House Lyrandar shouldn't be 2 or 3 times as interested as anyone else in securing this information. Everybody wants to curry favor with everyone who's here, of course, wants to curry favor with the Ondair court, with the other houses, to be able to show their influence and their power. And those are all very general benefits that are nice for just anyone. But this seems especially personal to House Lyrandar. And so I thought that over the next, we have the event is going to be held in secret inside a charity gala that's being held at the mansion of a man I'm told goes by the moniker the Crimson Butcher. He's holding a charity gala that evening. We will all be in attendance. It should be bright and cheery and jubilant. And during that event, at some point, we will escort the invited guests to the auction, off into a private room where the auction will be held. Between that is not tomorrow night, but the night after. So between now and tomorrow night, I thought that you and I could make best use of that time, kind of using each other as sounding boards for why it may be most important that House Lyrandar be the most invested in trying to secure this information and to essentially clear their own names, show their own strength, and do something to scrub away a little bit of the stain that's been left by the incident itself. Well, that's been a lot of talking from me, but how do you feel?
Why are you throwing your hat in with Lyrandar? Are you... I'm curious, is it politeness? Or do you have some kind of personal stake?
I'm not sure if you're aware, Alisar, but I was aboard the airship that evening. And I've also worked with House Lyrandar in different locations in the past a little bit. And I feel a little bit of a personal attachment, even though, of course, I've not been of the house. But as I mentioned, just looking down through the list, when we were the members of my house were dividing up the assignments, I didn't feel any real passion about being paired with someone who simply, wanted to walk out with the kind of hollow pride of being the highest bidder to gain some information that they didn't glean. I felt like the information ought to go to something more meaningful, something that had a little bit more of a ring of justice to it. I just couldn't find or couldn't think of a better landing spot for this information than House Lyrandar. And so I personally requested to be assigned to House Lyrandar because, I'm a little prideful myself, and I thought I could do a good job of communicating that to you and maybe helping to be an outside perspective on what the visuals for the results of this auction might be.
I see.
So
Yeah.
I won't. Obviously, the auction isn't for another couple of nights, unless you have any specific questions or statements. I'm happy to leave you with that. Give you some time to give it some thought. We can meet another once or twice before the auction starts if you want, and continue to talk things through if you like.
How much do you want House Lyrandar to succeed here?
How much do I want House Lyrandar to
It seems
succeed?
like you really want them to. Just about maybe as
Um,
much as I do.
I wouldn't say so. I don't. While I did admit that I have a little bit of a small amount of personal history and sort of a soft spot, I'm really not going to benefit one way or another from um, House Lavendar obtaining this information or not obtaining this information. Really, because I'm of a new house and I'm not previously of a noble or dragon marked family. I I this who ends up with this information is of little consequence to me individually. I'm simply trying to do a good job. Oh, I will say that. Um, I am trying to do a good job for my newly fledged house because we've been assigned. I don't know if you know or not, but we've decided that we would like to brand ourselves as the House of Diplomacy. And this is really our first kind of venture out into the world of the Dragon Marked houses, and we want to look good. So each of us has been assigned. None of us that I know of has an individual stake in who really walks away with the information, but we just like a lawyer or an entertainment agent. It's really our job, our individual jobs, just to try to provide our clients, the people to whom we're assigned, with the best service that we can.
Hmm. May I give my theory as to why House Orion isn't here?
Absolutely, I'm all for learning a bit more about the houses.
I think Baron Quanti du Orion doesn't have enough grandchildren.
Oh, really? I had no information about this whatsoever. I know nothing about this. That's an interesting theory, though.
Hmm. Well, he's just been, you know, so busy. Some think that you know, he's having a very, you know, things in his family. He's got a lot of dead people, dying people, a lot of health issues. It's a very difficult time for the good man.
Does she seem to be implying something with that, or is that just pretty much a straight? Does that seem like that's pretty much just a straight value?
You recognize Thebes
Oh shit!
Camp.
I'm supposed to.
No, it's
Uh,
all good. Like I like throwing shit at you, and you're like, "The what is he talking about?" Like every single time.
okay, let me pop it open. All right.
Yeah, no problem, no problem.
I did not expect that from her. Okay. Um, let's see what we've got here. Um, I'm sorry. I will be right there.
No, it's no problem. To to help you out, like, it's all good. I don't need you to She was basic.
I'm sorry. What did she say again?
Throw me an insight check on it. But she
Yeah.
said she thinks that Baron Quanti du Orion doesn't have enough grandchildren,
Right.
and he's uh, health isn't good in his close family. There's a lot of people dying, maybe even
Yeah.
passed away.
Okay. I will get all that stuff.
Basic. Do you want the translation while you're?
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead.
She's basically saying she doesn't think he doesn't have enough funding to be a part of
Yeah.
the auction, and that he's going through a really hard time.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Sorry for not catching that. I haven't
No,
thought.
it's all good.
I haven't even thought about Thieves' Cant in weeks, unfortunately.
It's all good.
I want to, but I forget about it.
It's all good. It's all good. No worries at all.
So she doesn't think that they have the appropriate funding to match up against the other invited houses.
Yeah, but it's also weird because she's using Thieves' Cant with you in a room just with you and her. Like it's very
right
clear
between the two of us.
Yeah, I think she's testing you, or you don't know what the reason. Maybe that's probably the most probable reason.
Yeah. So I guess I would now that Holden, who's smarter than I am, recognizes what's going on, he would give her a reply that suggests that he understands what she's saying, and that I guess something along the lines of, funds can be, and this is in plain speech, but he would say it in Thieves' Cant. Well, funds can be hard to come by for houses these days, especially ones that have been sort of, I guess, overcome by the passage of time.
Yeah. Yeah, you throw some Thieves' Cant in there, and she kind of like slowly shakes the head. She says, I see. Okay. That's fair. Well, you've given me much information. I'm glad that House Lyrander has your support. If you ever wanted to, I don't know, have a little extra support, if you wanted to, she'll, I'm trying to do some translating here for fun. She says, I don't know. This is all being set up out of Ondare. They have a lot of farms there. Maybe me and you could, I don't know, talk about farming.
Sure.
Bottom of the page, or bottom of the, never mind.
Third page?
In the chit chat section.
Yeah. For some reason, I'm not seeing it. Oh, yes. Well, we'd certainly be happy to meet you in the fields a couple nights from now. But until then, I'll let you know if I find anything else about any roaming ducks.
She'll nod her head at you. A smile curls across her face. And she says, well, I've always been into pig farms. I'm a big fan of pork. And she'll stand up and to bring the meeting to an end a little bit.
Yeah.
And she says, do you like, and hopefully maybe you might find yourself liking pork as well. They have some good sandwiches around here.
Oh, my dear lady, I wouldn't have come here if it wasn't for the pork.
I think we're going to get along just fine. And
it was nice to meet you again.
And she will, very genteel, shake your hand. And she looks at you with a satisfied grin.
Good. All right. That seems like it went fairly well. I will excuse myself, and I will. I'll be back in contact probably within 36 hours to see how you're faring.
I'll be here.
Thank
Unless, for whatever reason, we would want to talk about pork sandwiches.
Absolutely. I'm.
Is there such?
In Ondare, of course.
Well,
I'm
here in Karnath, but I hear you do it so good in Ondare.
Well, it's a little it's a little bit easier to till the fields in on there, but I can certainly look into local farming as well. It's always good to brush up on one's knowledge. Let me give this some consideration to where one might to how lucrative it might be to start a pork farm here in Karnath, and perhaps I'll be in contact sooner rather than later.
Excellent. Well, I get the sense that you're going to be, well, I intend to be a good guest as much as I expect you'll be a good guest.
Always. I always intend to be a good guest. Especially, oh, why did I not see that before? That's funny. Is there anything in particular you were interested in farming?
That's a good question.
Something that can be found in the fields, or something just around the home in general?
I wish that Dear to God I could command F this. This would be so much easier if I could command F. She's gonna say, she goes, well, you know,
Something from a cousin, perhaps.
that sounds excellent. Sounds excellent. Yeah, maybe you could tell me about the other visitors in that regard. If there are any visitors amongst those cousins that will be a part of this little gala.
Absolutely. I don't have any problem at all with an intimate discussion about such cousins.
And circling back, after we're done talking about all of that and maybe going to see a farm together or something, having a little pork sandwich or something, we can talk all about the grandchildren that we'll have together.
Oh, the two of you, you'd like to visit a farm together?
Sounds fun. I'm not against. My scroll button isn't working. She says, but I'm not against having a couple birds along the way, or cows on those farms. I hear those are particularly important when you're going to the farm.
Understandable. I'm not sure that the cows with which I've been familiar are necessarily the right ones for these sorts of farms, but something that I will keep in mind.
Understand. Well, birds then.
Birds it may be.
Very well. I'm excited to see the fields and see if it's possible to build a farm on one.
Yes, let me do a little looking around. Let me do a little looking around at home, and I'll be in contact before tomorrow evening. Perhaps tomorrow evening we'll go out and can talk about a little farming together.
I'll see you then.
Have a good evening.
The FBI agent on the side is like, what the fuck are they talking about?
That went much better once we got going.
Like, this chick is really into farming. What the fuck?
I had it cut off at the bottom, so I couldn't see that word, and I was like, what is he trying to equate farming to?
I know I lost my eyes kept skipping past fields, kept talking about fields, and I was like,
yeah.
Fields. But yeah, I caught on there around the end. Incredible. I love Thieves Camp. It's exciting.
Oh yeah, that is fun.
Okay, very cool. Very cool. Thanks for coming along on the Thieves Camp ride. Go ahead and take inspiration, Holden.
Right. Thank you.
Okay. Is there anybody else who has a meeting this evening? Rowan, I thought you wanted to have that tomorrow.
She's meeting with Kenneth West tonight.
Kenneth West tonight. Okay. Absolutely. So you want to do that now?
Yeah, Jorlana's or Jorlana's representative.
Absolutely. You would hear that there is going to be, indeed, Jorlana's representative. There we are. I'm just getting the information prep. There's a lot of bouncing around information in this particular game. You're going to be meeting. You're not going to be meeting with Jorlana. You're going to be meeting with one Lorian DeCaneth.
Lorian?
Lorian.
All right, now it's cool.
He happens to be staying at the. Where is he staying? Oh yeah, he's staying at the same place you're staying. He's got a room there too.
Lauren, someone you know, Rowan?
So easy. Yeah, we're gonna go. We're gonna go hang out.
Excellent. So, you're like, oh, where's he? Oh, he's here. And then Adrian will like point across the room where you'll see. Where? You'll see this Carnathy looking guy. Maybe you don't know, but he's sitting over there. He's a bit of an older guy. Short graying hair, and he's wearing sort of blacks and reds, which is very nationalistic Carnathy styles. And yeah, he's just kind of sitting reading a copy of the Cornberg Chronicle.
All right, and just above the table to make sure, I'm definitely meeting with Kenneth West. Yes, Jorlana's representative. Excellent. Correct. All right, so I know that I think we had all arranged to meet in the room that was quiet. That couldn't be listened in on, like as a quiet like dinner. So yeah, Rowan would be in there just kind of noshing.
Yeah, he's not in one of these like private like soundproofed whatever booths. He's just kind of at his own table by the window. Do you want to stride on up?
I do.
Fantastic. You stride on up. You see this old guy, human of course, and he's yeah, he looks up at you, and he will kind of fold the paper in his hand and pat his mouth with his napkin and say, is there something I can help you with?
Actually, I was hoping we could be helpful to each other. I have a private dining room, and I hate dining alone. Would you mind joining me? I hate to appear forward.
Make a persuasion check.
I believe that is going to be a dirty 20 when it grows up. Give me a second. I lied. It is a 19.
19. Kind of cocks an eyebrow. He does. Here, I'll show the picture now. Bit of a kind of grizzled old fella. His hair is a little bit better kept. I would say he's less grizzled. His hair is better kept. He's better shaved. But he I mean, frankly, he kind of looks you over, kind of gives you a little up and down. He kind of goes, "Well, sure, yeah, that sounds like fun."
And as soon as he said sure, she walks in. And they go into the dining room and sit down, and she sits across from him.
Yep, you sit across from him. You're going into the soundproof dining room.
Yes, I am.
Got it. So you enter into this big, long dining room table. The two of you sit there.
And to be clear, she's not sitting like all the fuck away from him. She's like right next to him.
You don't need the telephones.
Yeah, no. Come on now. Okay. Jesus.
You have a host civis messenger on each side of the table.
Right.
No, you sit like kind of.
Paying 3 silver a word.
Got it. Yeah, 3 silver a word. Yeah, tell him he looks great. And so you sit sort of like, he sits at the end of the table, you maybe sit to the side of him, and he kind of looks at you. You get the sense he's got, this was a bit of an ego boost for him, this like pretty ladies like inviting him to dinner.
And I will smile at him. And like once all the meal is served and she's sure it's going to be great. So So-
as a possibly interesting note, he talks greatly about like the place itself. He goes, isn't and I'm gonna put out there, he has a very terrible Karnathi accent. Like you get the sense he's trying to put one on. Like he's trying to have a Karnathi accent, but he's kind of doing a shit job. But he's talking and he's like this. I have to say the king's grace is beautiful. I mean, he talks about the food. He goes like, "Oh, who's the?" I didn't think they had such culinary expertise. And he like,
she's going to lean forward and she's going to put her hand lightly on his wrist and says, "My name is Rowan Kenneth Deloria."
he will open it. He'll kind of like look with recognition. He goes, "I thought I recognized your face from the Chronicle, didn't I? You've been a very popular subject of like a bit of celebrity and on there."
So I would love to talk to you because there's a lot going on, but I need to be able to talk to you. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I am a great. I've been known to be a great fan of talking with beautiful women.
So where you from?
He blinks a couple times. Like,
Please don't
you
say.
see
Please
him-
don't say Karnath.
He goes, no, I am from on there, but I've been here for a while. While now.
Were you here as a child?
As a child? No, I wouldn't say that. No, I was on there as a child, and I came here for work, for our common. And
So listen, I am so here to help you out because I know about the auction tomorrow. And if you're really interested in learning dialects, I've got people that can tell you, right? But for now, being from Ondair has its own kind of power, and your accent isn't landing quite right. And I would rather be honest with you. Yeah?
Make a persuasion check to see if this comes off well.
Fuck yeah. All right, that will be a 24.
24. He kind of nah, and he kind of just swaps back to. He goes, "Well, that's a shame. They,
Okay,
trying my best, I suppose, but not
you're
plenty."
great. I'm here to help. Let me help.
With what exactly?
So first of all, tomorrow, actually not tomorrow, day after tomorrow, there's a gala, right? And in the gala that you're going to be going to, there's going to be a little side event where some people are going to be bargaining for a piece of information that is very interesting, particularly to Kenneth West. A whole lot of people are going to be auctioning for this piece of information.
You're part of the auction.
I am.
I was wondering when someone would show up. I've been here for, well, not too long actually, but still, it's been a while.
I'm sorry to keep you waiting. We had some things to deal with.
That's all right. We're here now, aren't we?
We are here now. All right. So, I am a direct person, and you look like a man of action.
I can tell you're very direct.
I would like to just be able to have a conversation with you. Because I think you'll find that despite the fact that I am a very neutral party, that is very, very, very excited to be excited for your success one way or the other.
Okay.
So the buy-in is 5,000. You got a line of credit. This isn't a problem. I know you got it. It's going to be, and she just fires off the particulars like it's nothing. She's assuming he's got it. Isn't even like whatever. Here's the shit. We're not talking about it. All right, so it's an auction. I'm sure you've done it a million times before. You know what's going in. Now, you may not know about my house and what my house does. Are you familiar with House Leora? It was a question.
Oh, sorry, you were just kind of on a roll, so I kind of got lost there.
No, it's sorry.
Where was the question?
Are you familiar with House Leora? Like, have you ever heard of us? It's like totally cool if you haven't. Like, it's fine.
You've been plastered all over the Coldberg Chronicle. I would be living under a rock not to know about House Leora.
Listen, I never like to assume, right? You know, we're the kind of the new kids on the block. See, here's the thing.
There's very little about you that is childish. He'll write the bill of credit and hand it over to you while you're talking.
Like, and she doesn't even look at. She puts it down like we just had to deal with that. I'm so sorry. Like there's almost an apology. Like that was so gauche. I'm sorry. We just had to.
There's only one way to get something.
No. All right. So if it was just a simple auction, right? You want a piece of information. You get the piece of information. That's done. You know how to play this. You know what your budget is.
I do.
What I am here to account for is eventualities. So I am here to offer my counsel.
I see.
Merrick's, for whatever reason, has decided that he did not want to play with us.
Yes, that's Merrick's.
Right, and that's the one way it could go, right? Because Merrick's.
Well, I mean, I don't know him.
No.
Right. Maybe he's given up. Everyone knows that he is not. Everyone knows it's Jolana and Zolan that's competing for the top marks. Merrick's is kind of the underdog, isn't he?
I mean, right. Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe he's just kind of given up.
Right. And between you and I, that's a smart thing to do.
Well, for us, that is. Well, for me, I guess. You used to be us.
She smiles and she says, Merrick's. If I were Merrick's, which I am not, thank gods. But if I was...
Thank the sovereign host.
I know, right? But if I was, I would be looking to ally with someone.
Okay.
And he doesn't have the integrity to align with Jolana. But I do know that Zorlan was awfully ballsy walking into Fairhaven the way he did, trying to sponsor our house. That was
like
rude. Exactly. However,
well, I guess I shouldn't say that, considering the Gorgon is our mascot at Cannith, so it's kind of. But anyway. But yes,
he's unsubtle. You see him coming from a mile away, right?
Correct. Yes.
And he has what he lacks in charm, what he lacks in warmth, he makes up for in money, which means that he does have. I mean, it's Karth. It might as well be Jorlana's space. But if we're talking about the resources of this particular, like the paradigms of this particular battlefield, it's money.
Of course. It's an auction, after all. But, well, I've been doing this a while, and I know money isn't the only thing that makes the world turn round, which is why we're all here. We're investing in something more valuable than quite a great deal of coin.
Here is what I want you to consider, and you'll have until morning. And if the answer's no, like the answer's no, like literally, like no one will ever know except you and me. But I know what's going on in House Cannith between the three, and I think it is pretty clear where my sympathies lie. Obviously, what you want more than anything is to get the piece of information. And truth be told, I would love for you to have the piece of information. What I do not know, and what I do not need to know, is how much money you're going to put into it.
Right.
But if I were you, and there was the possibility that you thought you could potentially get outbid, and I'm simply speaking of strategy, I would consider who you would want to ally with to prevent Zorlon from getting it. This would be a card you would only have to play if you didn't actually win.
Well, see, the issue is where Jorlana, and like if I'm looking at this from a political perspective, the issue is between Jorlana and Zorlon is that Jorlana has the strongest claim to, he has the strongest connection.
Absolutely, 100%.
And that's
For
where
real.
that's where her influence comes from, is her blood, frankly, her connection.
I mean, but also her diplomacy, right?
Sure, of course. Her diplomacy, she's a good person and all that. But let's be honest with ourselves. Let's be very frank if we're going to be direct, right? The High Seneschals, they care about certain things. Connection to Starin is her most powerful asset, and Zorlon's most powerful asset is his political connections in the East, which is Jorlana counters with her political connections in the West. But he's fucking filthy rich. And this auction, well, if we could get this done, maybe it'll help Jorlana prove that she has a little more resourceful connection that Zorlon does not possess.
Yes, 100%. Nothing would make me happier than to see you win this. All I am saying...
Make that happen. Because let's be honest with ourselves. Zorlon's got deeper pockets. Zorlana has a lot of stake in this, but there's no denying. Kind of West.
Zorlon... So here's what I'm putting before you. And you're getting it first, and if you hate it, you can say, whatever, right? Because at the end of the day, you know what your budget is. But if it turns out that he can outbid you, my suggestion is that you find someone to ally with, and you have terms set up before the actual day of, and a way to know at which point you are no longer competitors. Now, that's up to you. You don't have to do it. And the only reason I consider it, the only reason I say it, is because I don't want Zorlon to get it as much as I want Jorlana to have it. I don't want Zorlon to have it more. And the idea that Merrick's bailed out by connecting with Zorlon, which is the kind of bullshit he'd do. He's such a weasel. A smart weasel. An innovative weasel. Such a weasel. I don't know. Look, I'm just talking straight. You're the one who's got to make the decisions. I am the message carrier, right? I am meeting with House Deneth tomorrow. I'm going to tell him the same thing I told you. It's 5,000 to get in. It's a fucking auction, right? Like, give me the thing, you know it.
Sure, but listen, if you want, I think we're both on the same page here. The priority is that Cannith East does not win the auction. It would be great if Jorlon wins.
We would love that.
We would love that. But if we don't win, we at least don't want Zorlon to win.
Absolutely.
So it's in a straight bidding war between, me and Cannith West. There's a good chance they might outbid. They have deeper pockets, and that's just how it is. So what can we do to ensure that doesn't happen?
I do not know what we can do to ensure that doesn't happen, but I can know. All right, let me see if I can put this a better way. What I am proposing as an alliance between Kenneth West and Denise. If you've got the pockets, great. Like, who knows? I don't know. Anything could happen. Maybe there's lightning, or maybe Zorlon has terrible diarrhea and absolutely just cannot make it tomorrow. Like, we can pray, right? But on the offshot that that is not how it goes down.
May I make some propositions? Because I have been to a number of art auctions myself.
Talk to me what you got.
I think there's a couple of options, but the one that comes to mind most is when you go to an art auction, there isn't just one thing on display. There's a couple. If we were to put something into the auction that would be of great value to Zorlon, maybe they bid on that and spend some of their funds on that before we get to the final auction, in which case I might have a chance of outbidding them. If your house, Leora, was able to present something in the auction as a preliminary something to wet the whistles of the bidders and get their blood flowing and whatever, something of particular value to Zorlon, that could be helpful.
Okay. Above the table, my understanding was that this auction was going to be completely separate. Is that
This what do you mean?
okay? So above the table. So I'm because I'm confused.
I understand.
That the auction for this piece of intelligence was going to be happening like concurrently, but separately from the general auction. Is that correct? Or is it being...
No, there's a gala, and then there is an auction, and that auction is for the information about Carrier Vast's whereabouts, and there's no other auction taking place.
All right, no, okay, all right. No, thank you. It's just...
Yeah.
All right. You got something?
I don't know. All I know is that we need to weaken House Cannith East's financial position. And if all else fails, we just make them bid until they've bid more than the information is worth to them. And then it weakens Zorlon's financial position.
All right, no. That's actually... I think that there's actually a better idea.
Perhaps.
And that's what I'm trying to get you to say. If there comes a point, you know what the point is. I don't know what the point is. But if there comes a point that Kenneth West cannot make it happen, you need to have another party that you ally with. A party that is not Kenneth, that you make a deal with saying, all right, I don't want them to get it, so I'm going to back your bid. And we're going to go together. And you're going to give me something in return for cock-blocking this guy.
That's a good point. I will tell you that. If you want to go to House Dennis, I would ask, because I don't know how this bid goes. I've never ever done this sort of bid before. But if you want to go to them and propose that they back us, it might be difficult because they don't have the same stakes that we do. But if they wanted to throw in their budget with our budget to keep it away from someone else, or at worst, I would be willing to indeed back their bid to ensure to keep it away from Zorlon. But at the end of the day, we want the information.
No, I get it. I want you to have the information. I'm dealing with the absolute worst case scenario now. I know how I'm going to back it down, right? Obviously, if I can get them to back us, right? That's what I'm going to do. But if I can't, here's what I'm going to suggest, right? You know how much money that you can give. We have a way to communicate that. In return, any of Kenneth's secrets, like intellectual domain, gets returned to Kenneth with nobody seeing it, obviously, always, because they're dealing obviously with the ship and such. And second, I don't know if you were in the palace, like in the throne room, when Baron Deneth called in a favor for Lyrandar. But that is a man who can make a statement.
I heard about that.
It was impressive.
He is
In a single statement, he completely changed the course of the dialogue concerning Lyrandar. Now that is pretty powerful. A favor like that, and knowing that Zorlan doesn't get it, that's a lot to deal with. And I know Baron Deneth is an honorable man. So these are your worst case scenario. Best case scenario is that you win it. Next chance, we get Deneth to back us. You like that?
Whatever keeps it out of Kenneth East's hands. If you were willing to set up a private talk between me and the other bidders, that would go a long way to help strengthen my position against them. Talk to them directly. But, well, you clearly seem on our side. I wouldn't be unhappy about that either.
Not officially.
But to be very clear, as much as me and you are talking here, yes, we would, at the end of the day, back up someone else's bid to ensure that wouldn't happen. I don't want to lay my hand on the table for the rest of the houses.
Oh, I don't want you late.
It's going to seem like we don't want it, and we need persuading. And if at the last minute, then I give them the nod, great. But I don't want them to go into the auction bidding like bidding unrelentingly.
I got you.
We want a chance at this, right?
Hell yeah, you do.
All right, you seem well experienced. Your namesake seems to be living up. Perhaps I might just leave you to it then.
I am glad that we could have this talk. I am glad that we could enjoy dinner. So where are you from? You're from Ondair, yeah? You're from, and then like the rest of the night is just going to be just talking about the sites and.
Yeah, he pretty much folds at that point. He's like, yeah, like I'm from Fairhaven. he's like, yeah, I'm like, well, he says like, oh, I grew up like in a town called, and then I came to Fairhaven. And he goes anyway. He will at some point in the night bring up what you talked about, just in like casual talk about that move that the Baron Deneth did. He goes like, it was impressive, and it goes to show how much having favor with people, having their affection, having their something owed to them, their friendship, how that can be used, even if we do like to be friends with people. And he'll just kind of talk about that, in which I will say over the top of the table, nobody's really been investing terribly in tokens of favor in this game, but as a reminder, those can be very powerful assets, especially if people want to play houses against themselves, each other, and might pay to have those tokens with the bidders to be able to burn them when it's helpful. Just as a reminder that mechanic exists in this game.
I actually completely forgot that tokens of favor existed in this game. I am so sorry.
No
Thank
problem.
You for the reminder.
That's how the Baron Deneth got that to happen. He burned his token of favor with the Queen and got her to relieve Lyrandar of that rumor. So remember, tokens of favor are there, and they're very powerful. You just got to earn them.
Thank you. So yeah, the rest of the night will just be drinking and merriment and just joy.
Fantastic. Yeah, you guys have like a good dinner. Incredible. We'll go to a break now, and when we wake up in the morning tomorrow, we are going to pick up with you, Lois. Thank you for your patience. You're the only one we haven't gotten to yet, I'm sorry to say.
That's okay. No big deal.
We'll start with you when we pick up. And we'll call that a night, but we will take a break and be back in 15 minutes. Cool.
3 houses down, 3 more to go.
correct. I think you guys are missing Denise. Let me see here. You're missing the Eyes of Aldair. You're missing Denise. And I think that's it, actually.
Yeah, we're only missing two because one of them bowed out.
Yep, Canis Self.
Canis Self bowed out.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Cool.
15 minutes, got it. Bye. I'll try to be back as soon as I can. I said this in the chat, but I'll say this again. I'll say it myself. It's amazing how much people are going around saying, "Oh, giving away all the secrets about the auction." And I'm saying, "Here's what you need to know." Bye. No one's talking about.
What secrets?
Not secrets, but it's like but schemes. Like no one's talking. Okay, here's how we undermine Cantheast. You're talking.
Right.
Ross is talking about like, like, hey, there's this other guy who's gonna be coming to the auction. Shame if something happened to him, and you're talking, and you're just talking about foreman and shit. I don't even know what you're going on about yet.
You'll see.
In time, I'll see.
It actually doesn't. It's not directly related to the auction. She just happens to be a little freaky deaky. So, we're gonna try and win some favor.
Oh, so she's Holden's type, is what you're saying.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. You're about to see that she is exactly Holden's type.
It's dangerous to lodge yourself into the connection to hook up with too many women, man. Sooner or later, they're all gonna find out about each other.
It's true.
Let's see if the headphones work.
You pumped for Tuesday? Tuesday, Ryan? You hear us? Ryan, do you hear us? You hear us? You hear us?
Testing.
Ryan.
1,
Testing.
2, 3.
1, 9, 3.
Hang on, Ludwig. I can. I'll let you know. Okay. Someone say something?
Hey, sup?
There, it's working fine now.
They're awesome. I gotta tell you, man, I'm pumped to have the Tuesday gang back together.
Yeah, that'll be good, man. I've been, yeah, that's been good to go. I'm excited to get session 1 out of the way, so I can like get my bearings and like be confident that it's prepped and be done with it. Well, not be done with it, but like get the ball rolling, I guess. Know that it's gonna work.
Is it the hardest when it's halfway through or getting it started?
Gotta get started, man. That's the busiest part of this. Is like the prep. The prep takes fucking forever. You guys know for the most part, like 5 of these games, including the Tyranny one that's coming to an end. That's gonna be like 5 games in 6 months.
Oh my god!
So I've had to, and then I got the extra one, the Wednesday night one that I've started up. So that's like 6 games I've had to prep.
Oh my god, dude! Oh my lord! It's gonna hit you all at once.
Well, it's already hit me all at once. I've been sitting at this computer for like a lot of time.
Like,
yeah, I think by the end of this month, I'll officially have everything off the ground and be good to go.
Hopefully.
Yeah, that's the. I officially can't run any more games. I'm maxed out at 7 games apparently. 7 games.
Oh my god, dude!
Yeah,
That's
7
terrifying.
games is the amount I can run all at once.
I'm terrified of running 1.
Dude, I would. Oh, if I could run like 1 or 2 games. Oh baby. If I make it like $100 a seat and just ran 1 game, it would be a legend. It'd be a legendary game. That's all I do is work on that game.
I hope it's not run. I hope we're not running you ragged.
Yeah, you are, but it's fine. I'm into it.
You're a
It's either
masochist
this or
for this
work
stuff.
behind the fucking desk or something. I don't know.
You're a masochist for this crap.
Yeah, but I enjoy it, so that's all that matters.
It feels like.
Dream job. What can I say?
Mhm.
I'll take it.
Does it still feel like you're walking?
Sometimes. But like, what else am I gonna do? Like, do a 9 to 5 and play video games at night? Like, I like this a lot better. It's way more fun. Okay. Let's get back to it.
Okay.
Welcome back, everybody. Okay, you guys had some meetings this evening. What does Lois what does Lois do with her night? All the parties gone off to go have diplomatic meetings. What's Lois doing with her night?
Only because it makes life easier. She's going to strategically sleep, and
Yeah.
by strategically sleep, when the party of interest is out and about, Lois is going to be asleep, with the intention of becoming awake once they're no longer out and about.
Okay, I got you. You're gonna sleep for like an hour and then have your 2 hours of like light activity when they all get back and then continue your rest. Okay. Nice. I like that. Strategically sleep. Cool. And so you do strategically sleep. And sure enough, you wake up like maybe you have your Dennis guard like let you know when they've all returned. And she does. And the party will all start trickling back in at a certain point in the evening. You guys are all nobles, and as a reminder, nobles have late hours. They have late hours and they sleep in. So
As I make I and Swan make our way back, would Adrian still be there?
who? Oh,
Adrian?
Adrian? Yeah. He's just chilling at the King's Grace, waiting for you guys.
I'm going to swing by him and take a seat next to him, like at the bar, I guess.
Sure, yeah, he's sitting at the bar.
And,
Yeah, you notice that he like not necessarily members of House Fjarlin or anyone that looks suspicious, but he does have conversations with like people at the bar. Like some people will come and sit down and chat him up. He looks friendly. Seems to be a pretty sociable fellow. And then they walk away and you approach, and he'll turn to you and say, Viceroy, good to see you.
good, Adrian. Hope you're having good nights. I had some.
Yeah, I'm having a fine.
Productive for me so far. You want to order a drink?
Sure. What are you drinking?
Carnath. What? I think Carnath would be a. What would Carnath be? I think vodka maybe. A little too.
Vodka.
No, beer. I'd say beer.
Beer.
Yeah.
Beer's a little more expensive around here because of the import costs. But
Okay, yeah. I was wondering, like, what's a natural Carnath drink?
it would probably be like vodka. Like
Vodka. Yeah, vodka.
All jokes aside, like something easily made in harsher climates. So
Yeah.
vodka would be very fitting. So you get some like vodka. I'll say that like Adrian's having a vodka martini, extra dirty, and he'll cheers you if you're just like
Sure, absolutely.
pounding shots like a soldier.
And as I'm drinking, nobody's looking. I just leave the paper on the table for the notary on the table for him. Like,
Yep, he'll take that and tuck it away. He
Feels
says,
like-
so things are going well. Wrong accent. So things are going well with the.
so far so good. Our friends from the east are happy. They'll come when the time comes. And tomorrow I plan on, if I can, preferably at midday, would like to go to the butcher.
I will have something delivered to the house so he knows when the appointment is. Mostly at home right now, planning for the gala. Apparently, it's going to be quite an impressive list of warlords and captains.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh, I'm sure. I was raised here. I've been to some of these. You've been to one. You've been to all of them. But yes.
If you say so. It's the best part of the job, if you ask me, is the luxury and the dining and all that.
Yeah. Luxury gets boring after a while, but still, I will say,
Aldair hasn't rubbed off on you, I see.
yeah, I appreciate Ondair, but it's the Ondair, but I'm somewhat worried. It's making me let myself go to some extent.
Your group should probably consider high seneschal positions, if I might say so. Viceroys usually are high seneschals. So, might be good to start figuring out where you're all going to be. And it sounds like you want, what, being a Carnath, you want to be the Minister of War for the House of Diplomacy?
No, such a strange title.
When 90% of the business is diplomacy, 10% is what?
Everything
Punching
else.
those people.
When diplomacy fails.
I
Regret.
mean, if you think about it, you and House Deneth are either natural allies or natural enemies, right? They've got the
True.
muscle and you've got the silver tongue.
True, but we can't rely on them entirely.
Well, you can't
But
rely on anyone.
true. I don't want to take too much of your time, but yes, if you can get a message to the Baron, I will let him know that I and Babe will that we'll make our way there at midday tomorrow to study the mansion and see what the security situation is like.
I'll let him know.
I may also come again during the nights to see what it looks like in the nights.
All right.
And
Yes, he sort of waves to the bar who brings him a pen and paper and he'll take those notes.
two more things. What time exactly is the gala start on the day after tomorrow?
You'll have to speak with the Baron, or the Warlord, sorry, on dare. But
Mhm.
I believe it was going to be something along the lines of, a usual ball gala from dawn till dusk as it is.
Sometime at early evening and to late at night, probably.
Probably. That's how things work with you noble types.
And last thing, about House Thorani. I understand that you and your people have an understanding with the displacer beasts, but that agreement doesn't quite extend to myself and the others.
Correct.
Just to be clear, we are not to it is in the best interest of y'all if we are attacked to not end them. Correct?
I mean, what you do to House Thurani. Listen, I'm not a politician, but House Fjarlin is not allowed to take the lives of House Thurani. And if House Thurani members show up, and if House Thurani members die, we need to protect ourselves, because if that truce is off, that is dangerous consequences for House Fjarlin. We would have to pin it on you.
I'll try. I'll try not to make them. I'll try my best to.
Well, I say pin it. I'm not as elegant as all of you, but we would have to tell them the truth. If you kill a member of House Thurani, it would be House Leora killing a member of House Thurani, because we hold a truce, and they'd be likely to believe it, because we've held that truce for some time now. It's never been, well, I have no doubt that there's things that happen behind the curtain, but that truce has never been officially broken.
Well, I'll try my best to make sure nobody meets an unfortunate ending for that tomorrow night. Any idea of what they might try?
Well, I have some suspicions about who they'll be hiring for entertainment at the ball. I mean, they can't exactly hire House Fjarlin. And this is, make no mistake, a noble ball. They will hire or want to hire the best. And to be clear, the warlord is not used to taking the word no, especially from someone he's doing a favor for.
I see.
But I don't think it's something that we can't handle. I think it, frankly, just makes it more exciting.
You enjoy this cloak and dagger stuff so much.
We all
Here in
have to
Karnath,
enjoy
we
what
just
we do.
here in Karnath, we just attack things head on.
Well,
There's some value in that.
there is. But there's also some value in dancing.
I think I don't think I've ever danced before.
Would you like me to teach you?
It's a bit late for a lesson, but still. But
It's
yes,
never too late for a lesson, Viceroy.
uh,
Are you
so
scared? He grins a large grin as he says that.
internally, Ludwig's just thinking, "Motherfucker." It's been. I should get up. I should get going. It'll be a long. I need to get sleep, and I have much to do tomorrow. Thank you for the offer for dancing lessons, but no, but I'll be at the butcher's tomorrow at noon.
Very well.
But you'll be there as well.
Of course. But keep in mind, Viceroy, all you, House Leora, are going to have to blend in being there while you're there. If this is going to be a secret auction, there's got to be some convincing that House Leora is there for no other reason than
Building relations.
building relations, connections, power, so on and so forth.
You're saying I'll have to learn how to dance.
You don't have to do anything you don't want to, Viceroy. You can go
Well,
sleep on that and figure out what it is you want.
well, I will think on that. Have a good night, Adrian. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
And that's all I'll be doing for the rest of the night.
So you kind of have this meeting, you go to bed.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, Holden, Rowan, and Cross will begin to trickle in. As you three trickle in, Lois, you are roused and find yourself ready for the rest of these three party members. So we'll say Ludwig got there first. You were awakened. Maybe you kind of see Ludwig as you pass in the hallway as the other three members begin to trickle in with your Denith member.
I trust we've all had some productive meetings.
Went off without a hitch.
You went to bed, Ludwig.
Oh yeah, never mind.
Surprisingly, almost more successful than I expected.
Interesting.
Oh, that's fantastic to hear.
Rowan,
Ambassador.
would it be fair to say that you would rather Kenneth East just not participate?
It's like a gift. It's like the most beautiful gift I always wanted on a birthday.
Out of quick curiosity, as a side note, is Adrian a part of this conversation, or is he over there? Your choice.
I want to say no.
Yeah, that's fine. No problem.
Yeah. Thrashk,
I do enjoy them.
more willing to be aggressive than I expected. I think
Oh.
they feel somewhat as if they're coming in at a disadvantage and made efforts to persuade me to give them an advantage. Now, I'd hate to try and somehow swindle Fialan in such a process, but removing a player whom we mutually dislike seems more doable.
I feel like it's just for the I feel like it's just for the good of Corvair. I feel like we're doing the work of the sovereign host, really. I feel like what we're doing is holy. She's getting emotional about it.
I want to propose that I unintentionally give Thrash the location of where Kenneth East is staying in the city, and I mean, I don't know what's going to happen if they find out.
To be honest with you, jet lag is a bitch. I mean, I'm always leaving stuff all over the place.
Literally like 1 hour jet lag. Central time zone, motherfucker.
I mean, they're the Finders Guild. I mean, it was gonna happen.
It's literally what they do.
It's what they do.
It's literally what they do. To the Finders Guild.
Yeah, well, we haven't agreed on anything, but I hope tomorrow they'll be willing to go along with such a deal. I have, as far as what we gain, I haven't so much told them that removing Kenneth East is a favor for us as well. I've asked for a favor. I feel like something at least somewhat indistinct.
Like a personal favor.
I said personal, but I must confess I have someone I would like House Fresh to find, and the financial cost of doing so would be quite high. But if Thrash would owe me a favor, then perhaps I could have that financial burden wiped away.
I mean, if you're already benefiting the group cause or group interests, I don't see any problem in currying a little individual favor as well.
I feel like it's just conservation, right? Like, I feel like if you didn't do it, it would be like disrespecting. It's like when you have a meal, you want to finish, you want to eat the whole meal, right? I feel like it wouldn't be eating the whole meal if you didn't, really.
Fair enough. Thank you. I also wanted to at least extend something of an apology for springing shell on all of you. I know that a certain addition to our assortment of gods is perhaps worrying or and unexpected, but I at least felt that as the only one without a god, I was more unsafe than any of you, and this was the best solution I could come up with outside of, I must say, I find my faith in Denise's defenders to be quite shaken, given the recent events. I just needed someone I personally could trust and rely on.
Well, ultimately, if you feel safe and secure, that's the most critical piece.
Thank you.
Yes, as I said the other night, I agree.
Sounds like it was a really productive evening. If nothing else, we seem to be good at trading in favors.
Oh, um, I might have to spend some time cultivating uh, my relationship while we're here, but I don't really have anything better to do. So I will check in as often as I can, but if I'm sparse or scarce, just know that I am out working for the good of the group.
Happy gardening?
Lois, you've not met with anyone?
Not until the morning.
Ah, well, good luck. Here's to hoping that you have the a similar level of success as to what we've
I'm
had so far.
I'm certain that it will be a straightforward affair.
Is
Unlike most of
anybody?
yours, a, they're a governmental agency.
Uh,
Their rules of engagement are more prescribed.
didn't Ludwig have a meeting tonight? Does anyone know how his went?
Uh, yeah, he did. He came back a little before you guys did. He didn't seem overtly disappointed, so I assumed that it went well.
Oh, he's back. Where's he now?
He went up to his room to sleep.
Oh, maybe it was a particularly good meeting.
He met with Kenneth East's representatives. They're Karnathi. I forget they speak the same language. So
I see.
it's all a broadsword, you know what I'm saying? It's all sort of one note with them.
Well, here's to hoping it's feeling familiar to him.
Indeed. It's a familiarity.
And some of you have additional. Lois has 2 more meetings, right? And Rowan, you
Well,
haven't had?
I was going to meet with Kenneth South, but they've opted to remove themselves from the running. So that's either a resource issue or some plans on future shenanigans. But I don't know the individuals well enough to make an assertion one way or the other. But given our general level of paranoia, I'm assuming that it's option 2 until proven otherwise.
I see. Across, it sounds like you have plenty to do in the meantime before the gala.
I'll be meeting again with House Farash to finalize any. Just have friendly conversation. I do already have. I'll take out the, like, you know, credit thing. They have
yeah.
paid already.
Oh, yes. Did we all collect our credits? Save Lois, of course.
Rowan pulls hers out.
I'm gonna bring Adrian, if that's okay with everyone.
Aliens.
That way he can take those and get them off of our hands.
I don't want it on my hands any longer than it's got to be on my hands to come take it.
Fantastic.
So
Yeah,
we've not
good
had
way
anyone balk at the price yet.
Did you expect someone to balk at the price?
Farash did level some accusations of us skimming from the top.
They have the
They said
money.
that was the price.
I will
Every
say that
500 platinums counts. Save your pennies.
it was hinted to me that the price may have been too steep for certain houses had they either been invited or accepted, but they're not here anyway.
Talking of prices, since I'll be playing the role of auctioneer.
20.
Where
Well, that's
would
not
we-
a bad night haul, turning over 20 grand and letters of credit.
where would we like to start the bidding exactly?
Not that this has to be the way, but I kind of assumed it would start at the 5. Or at a little over 5, right?
Well, it started at the 5 and see if they bite. If they don't, then you can
500 or
run
5,000.
it back until they get on board and then start running it forward. But my guess is
maybe...
if nobody balked, then they should be fine.
Maybe I misunderstood the intention of the buy-in. I assumed that it would be counted as part of the bid for the winning bidder.
And the money's gone out of the way. Starting from 5,000 seems kind of moot at that point.
Oh, my understanding is that was like when you're playing poker and you like ante up at a table, like that's you put that money in, if you win you get it back, and if you don't you don't. Like I thought that was just like the cover charge.
Yeah, it is. I think we're saying
Right.
the same thing with different words. I guess I was assuming that like once the 5,000 is in, that kind of becomes our new 0.
Oh yeah.
And we just go up from there.
All right, no.
I guess
No,
again.
no. I get it. No. I'm with you. All right. But still, where do we start them? So assuming like everybody is starting at that initial 5, where do we start them?
And we just offer that statement, and then whatever denomination kind of feels right for you, Cross. If it's steps of 100, steps of 1,000. Your call.
I was willing to start maybe at. I'm conscious of the fact that they've already all paid 5,000, so I don't want to accelerate too quickly. There has to be some element of fun to this, or at least entertainment. It needs to be a battle, shall we say?
My experience with auctions in the past has been that for the initial, I guess for the opening bids or for the early bids, the auctioneer generally tries to present those in the largest increments they think that they can get away with. And then if no one bites, then they scale those into smaller increments that people are more comfortable with.
Fair enough. I'll start at increments of 500 and then we'll go from there.
At this point, Adrian, as I assume you waved him over, Lois.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He comes over, collects the bills of credit, gives you all a little nod as you seem to be in a private conversation. He'll go make sure those are delivered. Go to the bank. All right, you guys all head to bed?
I think so.
Ish.
Okay. You all go to, yeah, ish. You guys all head to bed. You've had a busy day. The jet lag, the traveling on the lavish first class lightning rail, the having to walk 2 blocks to your destination. And just the social batteries, perhaps a little low for some of you, maybe. But you all find your way to your various rooms, your sentinel-like guards protecting you, watching over you as you sleep. And as you all dream, you're all going to feel something. Your dreams are going to be a little strange. You guys have done a lot of talking today. You do a lot of planning to do a lot of talking. Your minds have begun to shape towards the future, and that future looks to be one where people will hopefully bend to your influence, and it seems already people begin to bend to your influence. It hasn't been a long time, but quickly, alongside your other Dragon Mark members, you're beginning to communicate with them better. You're beginning to communicate with the world better. Yes, you do, Cross. And even while you dream, as if you're feeling it as a part of you in your dream, wherever your marks would be on your body, you feel them almost like throbbing. And the powers that be within you expanding, much like how a creature evolves to suit their surroundings, how a small creature might grow because its predators are many, or a predator might grow its teeth and claws through evolution to better adapt to the environment it's in. You all find yourselves in an environment that requires more. And as you all awaken the next morning, you will feel the power of your marks expanded. Not only that, but your marks have indeed grown across you. No longer do you possess the lesser dragon mark of diplomacy, but now you possess the standard-sized one. And with that, new powers. You all have access to Gift of Gab and Calm Emotions as their 2 new spells. Additionally, you have a new feature called Subtle Charm, which means that if you ever cast an enchantment-based spell, your target will never automatically know that they're charmed, much like the charm person spell any longer. So unless there's some actual perceptive reason or arcane reasoning or investigative reasoning actually done, they will not be aware that a charm is taking place. So your powers have expanded.
Oh god, we could do something horrible.
Yep.
Just sit next to someone, just command bid over and over again.
Like,
Rowan's. That's bad. Oh, no, there's much more. We got more.
Some of them are trickier, right? Like command, you're literally like, kneel. And they're like, the first one, they're like, oh, that seems like a reasonable thing to do. And then like, you keep shouting at me to kneel, and I'm still kneeling. This is weird, you know?
There you go, bid. Bid.
Bid. Incredible. Bid. That's funny. Okay. So, you wake up this morning. Lois, we will start with you, as I imagine you're the first up and early to go to a little breakfast and have a meeting. Who were you meeting with?
Eyes of Undair.
Eyes of Undair. Okay, excellent. Let's go meet the spy. One of the spies. You guys are doing a lot of spies lately. Okay. Is there anywhere that you would have liked to have met, or would you like to have gone to where they're staying?
In the downstairs right here.
Cool, beautiful. Yeah, they meet you in the dining room of the.
It's a nice public space, which is kind of perfect and whatnot.
Absolutely. You wait, and you find a lovely woman enters who unabashedly wears the ostentatious colors of Ondair, and like the long blonde hair that is often venerated by Ondarians. It's considered a sign of great beauty to be blonde in Ondair. And you see this lovely lady enter within, human of course, so many humans. Lady Sira Valia enters within. Her chair is pulled out. She sits at the table with you, Lois. There's the kind greeting. She says, good morning, Viceroy Lois. It's a pleasure to meet you.
And likewise.
Now, before we proceed, and she speaks lowly, she says, I would wish that proceeding, whether it is us speaking or to other members of the auction or so on and so forth, though we know the truth, I would request that my affiliation simply be with the Royal Court of Altair, and not, for obvious reasons, other affiliations.
I understand that entirely. That makes perfect and abundant sense.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Now, with that out of the way, I'm very excited to speak to you.
Likewise. We got in yesterday. Several of the other participants had an opportunity to speak with folks yesterday. I kind of wanted to give them a head start to get a feel of what their feedback was, because I would imagine that there are some very significant resources being leveraged by some of these houses. So I guess the easiest way is to put out the business material, which I know that you're going to be interested in.
Of course.
The first item is that attendance is going to have a entrance fee, and that's 5,000 drawn on a letter of credit to make life simple and easy. For the bidding winner, that will be leveraged towards that, but it's also a non-refundable, just so the minimums required have been met.
I understand. She'll do a little wave to her attendant, who's standing right there, who will go into her bag, and she will produce a letter of credit and a pen, and Lady Syrah will fill that out very quickly and hand it across the table.
And Lois will put that into her jacket pocket. So that's the first item out of the way. The second, we are disguising the event under a different public auspice.
Excellent.
There is a Carnathi Baron known as the Crimson Butcher, with all due ostentation. He will be holding a charity event for the orphans, or the future orphans, of Carnathi.
Carnaths. I see.
So there will be people there, there will be security, there will be pomp and circumstance, and at some point during the evening, we have made the arrangements to have a small private room where the bidding on the item in question will be taking place. Once the successful bidder has been identified and the requisite letter of credit has been received and processed, within a day period, the information in question will be delivered.
Understood.
That handles the nuts and bolts pieces. Were there any questions that you had in addition to that, that I might be able to try and sort for you?
I'm already availed myself of the other bidders. I was, as I'm sure you understand, I do have the certain authorities to speak on behalf of the Queen. It is of exceptional interest that my faction obtains this information. It is of state importance, but I will... I'm going to say to you what you probably heard from every other person. We want it. We want it more than everybody else, of course. So, I will be blunt, as I'm not on occasion used to. Is there any way to assure through House Leora that we will have some advantages?
Well, I can provide you with some at the onset, and these are relatively small. All three of the Cannith enclaves were invited. Cannith South has removed itself from running.
See.
Which...
that is news to me.
I suffer a degree of paranoia after some recent events. It would seem for a very fraught political stance that's a decision I wouldn't have expected.
I see. Well, you've been kind to me, and as a show of good faith, I would exchange with you some information that might explain why this decision was made, if you're amenable.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a connect the dots sort of thing, but it has come to our attention that Cannith South is putting all their eggs in one basket. They are currently developing a new technology that is meant for the Warforged. We believe that Merrick's de Cannith, Baron Merrick's de Cannith, intends to use this invention to support his claim to the barony of the house. Jorlana has the right connections through bloodline. Zorlon has deep pockets. Merrick's intends to use the fact that he is perhaps the most capable. Exactly. He is indeed considered to be one of the brightest minds in House Cannith, and I think he intends to use that as his fuel. So, I expect he's put his eggs in that basket.
That is a large chunk of information. I feel obligated to share one more piece that I know currently. If you are indeed the successful bidder, it's of limited value. If, however, you're not, for whatever reason, the local cult, not of the Emerald Claw.
The Blood of Vol you referred to.
They're the source.
Impressive. House Vianen's
They
reputation
haven't
precedes them.
parted with that information willingly, obviously. But part with it they have.
That is useful information. I expect that means that they were going to attempt to use it to their own means.
That is a fair and true statement, to the best of my knowledge.
See. Well, if that's the case, very useful information to be delivered. If that's the case, I can give you some understanding that the Queen of Onder will be especially thankful if we win this bid. And with that knowledge understood that not only was this information made available to us, we had to pay for it, that's the way of the world, but on top of it being alleviated from one of our enemies that would serve to manipulate our nation, I have no doubt that the Queen would be incredibly thankful to the faction that brought it to light. House Fjarlin, and by extension, House Leora. I have no doubt that would gain significant sway in the court of Onder, privately though it may be.
And speaking for myself, I'm happy to be of help. The people of Onder have been very welcoming, given our circumstance and the nature of the tragedy with the golden dragon.
Indeed. Something we want to sniff out.
As do we, for, and she'll gesture at her right cheek and eye, for obvious reasons.
I will say, we may find ourselves with an interesting opportunity. As I'm sure you know, Corvair is something of a powder keg right now. Everyone's trying to figure out what in the world happened to Seri. And when that is figured out, and there's a high chance it'll be figured out one day. And if this powder keg if the fuse doesn't unlight itself, those of us who are not too naive to the ways of the world understand that war will happen again. All nations are arming themselves, and it would suit my particular faction to know as much about our neighbor as possible. This will be a gala. My focus will be on the auction, but you come from the house of diplomacy, fledgling though it is. It seems clearly you have skills. Perhaps, again, there might be great favor or coin to be curried in the court of Onder if you were to say, help point me to important information at this gala. There will be, I expect, important individuals from Korth attending?
That is my understanding, that the warlord in question is someone of significance socially, and this is a direct funding grab for future military endeavors.
Understood. So let me be blunt. If House Leora was to uncover at that party any, say, national secrets that might be of use to Onder, and were to pass them along to me exclusively, subtly, of course, without the other being the wiser, my particular faction, and certainly the court that presides over us, would be immensely thankful, as it seems that you're setting roots down in Onder. It may suit to have that influence at court.
I will certainly talk with the other members of House Leora. I obviously can't speak for them, and we're still small enough that things are decided in.
Certainly. I understand.
But
so, to summarize,
I am certainly very interested, and I am not without my own curiosities. Given where we're standing, sometimes there's skeletons in closets.
There are always skeletons in closets. as far as I'm concerned.
Particularly here in Karnath.
Particularly here in Karnath. Goodness. Well, as a reminder, if we won the bid, and with this information you told me about where that information comes from, I expect the Queen would reach us heroes for having saved us from such enemies.
They seem significantly less than reputable.
Mhm.
I am reasonably non-denominational, but even with that, this particular cult is distasteful.
They are quite strange. Well, I thank you very much for all this information and certainly for cooperation. I am happy to hear that the rumor that House Leora was so amicable with Aundair is true.
Indeed. As we are planning on doing a review of the venue at some point, probably today, with the gala being tomorrow evening. So I will have an opportunity to perhaps walk the grounds a little bit during the day today.
I understand.
And as soon as we have more specific timing, I will leave something for you. I probably won't have that until this evening. But I would imagine it's like many of these affairs, it will be from, mid-evening until late or early morning.
Excellent. Well, those are the hours I keep exactly. Well, I have some business to attend to myself, and it sounds like you have a busy day ahead of you too. So I will leave you now after an excellent breakfast. Thank you very much, Loisana.
And to you. I'm still struggling with that, but thank you.
And she will leave your company with that. Excellent. Well done. I believe there was one more meeting with Dennis for Rowan. Is that a breakfast thing, Rowan? Okay, cool. So before we hit that, I want to check with first off, Ludwig said he definitely wanted to go to the estate. I was wondering if you were going to bring Cross and Holt along, or if you were going to wait till the whole party.
I got up early actually. Yeah, Ludwig will get up early. He'll inform the others that. Well, I guess Lois is up first, so he fills in. Hey, look. By the way, everything went well with Kenneth East. I handed everything in. They'll be at the gala tomorrow. Just need to sending them the actual time to show up. But everything should be good, and they'll be there bidding as much as anything else, unless something goes wrong. And I'll be back here close to noon to take some people along to the manor. I explained that Ludwig will explain that he's going to step out for the bit into the city before going to the manor. There's something he wants to go do.
Got it. So you'll be back. So that sounds like you'll all be able to probably go at the same time to all go to the manor together and check it together. Cool. We like to do things where everybody's involved.
Exactly.
Excellent.
Rowan, do you want to go up?
Yeah, why don't we really quick, because Ludwig's going out for what reason?
I'm going to try and find an old friend.
Okay, you're going to look around for a friend. I wanted to see if there was any plans for Holden or Cross this morning while the other three were taking meetings.
I need to meet with Thrash again.
Okay, cool. And Holden, anything for you?
I have something at some point today, but I've got all day to do it, and I don't have a lot of other things to do today, so I'm willing to hold off until after we go and see the Baron.
I'd say
Okay,
likewise.
so
There's no rush
so
for me to get
Holden's
back to
just
Thrash.
got it, got it. So Holden and Cross are going to hold off till after the manor walkthrough. Okay, cool. I'll just roll a little dice here, see who goes next. I want to leave it in the heart. Okay, so Kenneth, or that was weird calling you Kenneth. Rowan, you are up to bat. What is the preference for where would you like to meet Dennis?
The same if we can have like a lovely breakfast in the private dining room, just because I want to be able to actually talk. She's in a suit. Oh, also, listen, I've said it before, and I think I just want to keep it up, that she's still waking up at the crack of dawn and training with Lena every day.
Understood. Yeah. I meant to put some flavor to that, but yes, there's an understanding that whenever possible, you wake up early, and do some training with your Denith guard, who kicks your ass around the yard a little bit, but with good intention.
As I'm getting my ass kicked. All right. You were there, you know what I'm doing with Kenneth, right? Realistically speaking, she doesn't have the money to take on Zorlon.
Yes.
So maybe we can throw this. So maybe we can throw this to Denith. I know you're not supposed to get involved, but you're also like you're also probably not supposed to be teaching me how to use a sword. So
teach whatever I want, whatever I want.
What's the best way to approach? I trust Denith with the information.
She asks who this person is, and you would know that the bidder is Lord Harlan, the Deneth, Sentinel Marshal. He's a Sentinel Marshal. Sentinel Marshal Harlan Deneth. And she would say, honestly, you gotta be careful around these Sentinel Marshals. They have a lot of legal power. I mean, I have half a mind to wonder if he's even intending to play ball. I mean, legally speaking, he has the power he has jurisdiction and power over a lot of what's going on here. So there may have to be a level of convincing him to not use the power of the Sentinel Marshal to just try and leverage things in his direction or straight up skip the bid. So, like I said, I don't know this guy. I just know that Sentinel Marshals have a ton of legal power to investigate and conduct themselves, especially when it comes to criminal activity.
All right. Damn, I wish I could have talked to the Baron before I did this.
I've been wanting to become a Sentinel Marshal myself one day, so I'm a little studied up.
How important is this to Denith, do you think?
I have a very complicated house, Rowan. I'm luckily just a soldier. I'm not one of the high seneschals or ministers or anything. But there's a lot of... maybe a persuasion check to see how much he wants to give you about the inner politics of House Denith.
I would like to use my heroic inspiration, please.
Hell yeah, go for it.
You know, and fuck that dice, we're gonna use you. You usually act right. Oh, look at you acting right. All right. Hold on, persuasion is +5. It'll be 21.
21. She kind of like, you can see there's like reluctance, and then it caves, and she says, the Baron is a great man. Baron Brevin de Deneth is a great and honorable man, and is well known, and people like me, the soldiering types, especially the defenders, have immense respect for our Baron. Most of the house does. The problem is the few who don't are the viceroys, the high seneschals. Deneth, without any word of overconfidence, is probably currently the most powerful singular military force in Corvair right now. We hold the most military power. I think, well, I know, that there are probably some people surrounding the Baron who would like to use that military power. So, it's anybody's guess who you're running into, especially the more powerful members of House Deneth. The High Seneschals, even probably a number of the Sentinel Marshals, though most of them are very plugged into law enforcement, high-level law enforcement. So,
High level
I guess the
law
question-
enforcement, like the Eyes of Von Dare kind of high level law enforcement.
no, the Sentinel Marshals, they are a...
Like they're their own
They're a-
thing.
They are.
And they go like
have,
in between countries, right?
yes, national boundaries have no means for them. A lot of, like the Eyes of Von Dare, for example, or the Knights Arcane of Von Dare, when they have to hunt someone across national boundaries, it becomes very complicated. There's a lot of red tape. Sentinel Marshals move right through those. The Korth Edicts empowered them to be able to chase criminals across national boundaries. So they're probably the most elite legal fighting force in Corvair. So they have a lot of jurisdictional power. So my advice to you, it might always pay to know which Sentinel Marshal is supported by which High Seneschal. You know what I mean? Or if they are just morally really focused on justice, which is, I think, the best you can hope for in a Sentinel Marshal.
Right?
As much as I hate to say it,
No one's going to be political.
Nobody's immune to politics, not even House Deneth.
All right, I can work with that. Any way to figure out what kind of, like, what flavor of Marshal I'm dealing with?
She puts her hands up.
Yeah.
I work primarily out of Von Dare. I don't even know the names of the Sentinel Marshals who work out of Korth. There's only like 200 of them, I think, in all of Corvair.
All right, well, you know, usually
So-
when I fence with someone from House Deneth, I get my ass kicked. It's like every day. But now I'm going to go second round. Let's hope I do better with them than I did with you.
I think when it comes to talking, I think we will be outplayed, perhaps. Well, that was a lot of information. I hope some of it was useful.
No, that's exactly what I needed. Thank you.
No problem. Now put your sword up, and she will go back to wailing on you and insisting you don't use any of your previous training. She's like, forget what you know, and empty your cup or refilling it. Makes you run a lot of laps. For some reason, she's insisting you run a lot of laps, and you're like, fuck, this isn't learning to fight. She's like, did you see the play, Karate Kid? Fucking just do it. Yeah. Okay, so I think we'll come back to you. You got a nice interaction there. We'll swing around to what Ludwig's up to in these mean Korth streets.
Ludwig will try. Is Soren coming with him?
Yeah, of course, he's your bodyguard.
Okay, cool. Ludwig is going to try and find the the religious districts. The district with all the temples.
I swear to God, I thought you said the Liches district. I was like, what? What do you mean? No, the temple.
That's a trade secret.
Don't tell anybody that much.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, you go to the temple districts. Man, this game keeps me on my toes. You never know. Okay. Oh shit, where's your? Oh, there it is. Cool. Hang on a second. While I open up. Okay, you find your way to the religious district. Whether it be to your satisfaction or not, the major cathedral that was once belonged to the Blood of Vol, now being repurposed, old statues being craned down and new ones being put up, the deities of the Sovereign Host being reinstalled. You know that the Cathedral of the Sovereign Host, this grand basilica, used to belong to the Sovereign Host, and then the Blood of Vol took over for getting close to a century, and now it's being reinstalled back into the Sovereign Host faith. But that was not in your time, and maybe it brings you a little sadness to see your faith, or this previous national faith, being sort of torn down for the new one, the old one technically. And you make your way a couple of blocks into the North Temple district to find up where they have set up shop anew. You find the Temple of Vol. It is not nearly as grand as the basilica that will house the Sovereign Host now, and has hosted the Sovereign Host for a while now. But it is still a basilica, though it is much smaller. It is not even half the size it once was. And you may, as I assume that's where you're going.
I think I would start there. I think that's where I would begin looking.
That is where you're most likely to find him.
Mm-hmm.
And
exactly. You know who I'm looking for.
I know who you're looking for. Similar, but not the same as many of the religions. The Blood of Vol religion is not a deific-based religion. There's no pantheon. There's no gods to worship. It is a philosophy. And so the only idols you see around are of those sacrificing souls who gave themselves over to undeath, to, well, not the traditional ones, not the soldiering of death, but those who gave themselves over to vampirism or lichdom, or those conscious ones that kind of make your soul unable to, you're unable to pass on, and these people are seen as martyrs to continue on living in undeath, to guide the souls beyond. And those are the statues that are mass the size, these great martyrs, these self-sacrificing saints who have given themselves to this power to guide the souls of those who are still living.
That, and I also imagine there might be some non-personalistic stuff, like, you know, like obelisks here and there, maybe a little bit.
Absolutely, there's definitely there are elements of necromancy throughout the temple. There is iconography of necromancy throughout it. You find yourself in the Temple of the Blood of Vol.
I'll go find the closest acolytes.
You find the closest acolyte. You ask him, I assume, for your ally.
I tell him specifically, pardon me, brother, but I am looking for a seeker. He's not quite like me, but he's changed, as you know. His name is Seeker Morrow.
Indeed, the great martyr Marrow. Yes, of course. I will bring him to you. I will rouse him from the slumber.
Slumbering. I would actually like it to be a surprise, if I could.
Understood.
Thank you.
Understood.
I'll just hide off in the side. Do you know when he might?
Would you like to come for his rousing from his slumber?
That would be actually that would be perfect.
Very well. Right this way.
And so I don't know what Soren believes or anything, but he sees Ludwig as unusually giddy, almost.
Yeah, and you see Soren is still as plain-faced as ever, and he'll go with you.
I explained to him like we're off to see a friend. I'm off to see an old friend of mine. I don't know what you believe, Soren, but I know this might seem a bit strange to outsiders.
He goes, I am Denise, and I hail from Karnath.
Oh,
The blood of Vol and undeath is not an unusual sight to me.
understood. It's good. It's good.
You walk through the
That's-
main temple space, through a grand set of doors that is opened, and you enter into this interior chamber. It's this large circular room that, again, holds statues that were taken from the main cathedral and sort of roused around the central space. And in the center, there is this massive sarcophagus that is just in the center. And there's various speakings. It takes about 10 minutes for them to prepare for the rising of the slumber of Seeker Morrow. And they sort of, they pray in their celestial tongues.
Kalima.
Kalima. And they do slide off very carefully the top of the sarcophagus. And they do call forth the saintly martyr of Seeker Morrow to rouse. And indeed, rising from the sarcophagus, wrapped in thick linen across his entire body, you hear the sort of ripping, cracking of that linen as the body begins to move and rouse, and this undeathly thin figure rises from the sarcophagus. Long, bony fingers clasp the side of sarcophagi, and the creature, with its long headdress, high and flat at the top, decorated in many colors, rises from the top and kind of will rise from the top, and sand and dust will sort of peel over the side, almost like water overflowing in a tub, as the creature rises and kind of sort of like cracks its bones and rises and rights its head to horrific snapping sounds of its bones as they move by the power of undeath. The people will come over, the priests will come over and very quickly decorate him in a mantle, a colorful mantle, and hand him a crook to stand upon. He looks at you with empty sockets and lipless teeth, and from his throat, a sandy, coarse voice comes forth and says, "It's good to see you alive and well, Ludwig."
I say, rise and shine, Moro. There'll be enough time to sleep when we're both dead. And I go up and gently, as respectfully as I can, I give him an old hug.
Yeah, he gives you that old man hug, delicate with his body. You know that in truth he has the great power to... He could squash you with a wave of his hand.
Of course he could.
Immensely powerful, but nonetheless, you can't help but treat him as this fragile old man, as that's how he appears, and he behaves as such as well. And he says, "Walk with me. I would wish to take the air. It's been some months."
And it's been... Oh, you haven't gotten any of my letters then? Sorry to hear that.
I am sorry, Ludwig. I required some time of contemplation.
Well, things have changed quite a bit, and I have some stories to tell you. And I call for Soren, and I introduce him to Seeker Moro, and I say, "Soren, this is Seeker Moro. He is the man who has saved my life."
He will bow his head to the Seeker, and he will say, "Great Seeker, we thank you for your sacrifice, and it is an honor to meet the mentor of my client, Viceroy Ludwig." He goes, "Viceroy? Indeed, much has changed, it seems."
So much. But come, let's get you that air first. Then I'll tell you my story.
And he will walk with you. Sarath will stay a respectful distance, but close enough to be of protection. And we can skip the elaborate story that I'm sure unfolds. If you'd like, roll a performance check just for funsies to see how well that goes.
Oh, he's absolutely wrong. Performance check for this. 19. I think that's good enough.
19 is very good. You tell the elaborate tale in all of its detail. You don't miss anything too grand. And he listens with intensity your tale, and is shocked to hear a great deal of it. But says in the end, I see fortunes have favored you greatly.
It seems that like it's. I think, Moreau, great fortune's fallen on me, and I feel as though I've a once in a generational opportunity.
Is that so?
If I play my cards right, then I might.
I agree. It seems you are not meant for the life of a simple soldier.
Feels like, and you played no small role in that.
I am honored that you pay me such respect, my boy.
And I go along and I tell him my things and as much as I can, and I say, I am in town with the others, and we are building our house up as we can here in Karnath. I'd love you to meet them, but now isn't the best time. We are terribly busy.
I understand.
The day after tomorrow, it might be possible. I want you to look upon the beginnings of something you had a hand in help making.
And you honor me much. I am glad that you have found a path that you take strength from, and would be honored to meet your fellow viceroys.
It was like, how still Leora? We plan on calling it.
It is a fine name for a Dragonmont's house.
And we kind of like shuffle along, talking and enjoying the fresh air and maybe sunny skies. And
let's see if it's sunny today, out of curiosity. It's a little cloudy, but yeah, the sun beams through for the most part.
Exactly.
As you walk down, as he does openly walk the streets, many of the despite that it's been displaced, many of the citizenry pay him due deference as he walks through the street. There's like a long bow, almost like a pitiful bow, in his direction of great respect for his sacrifice. There are others who openly show disgust and walk by. As you know, Karnath has become a very divided place when it comes to the blood bowl.
It is what it is.
Handouts up for Moro.
Nice.
It's a creepy looking buck, but we love him.
Nice.
And he says, remember, Ludwig, live your life the way that you wish. Do not, I think, be too afraid of boldness. Life has thrust upon you a destiny of grandeur, one that gives you the possibility of becoming something that will be remembered for generations. You are the origin. You will be the forefather of this Dragonmont house for all time. Be bold. Do not shy from your destiny. I would insist upon you to live your life fully and with a whole heart. For one day it will end. What you do in life is all you have, Ludwig. There is nothing else. There is only what you wish to do in this moment. So live. Live in a way that the storytellers will tell for many generations. Do not shy from history's retelling of your story.
I thank you again, Moro. And if we're away from prying eyes, I give him a quick hug again, and I say I must be off.
You return him back to the temples. You guys maybe
I return him back to his temple.
Yeah, and he will take out hug and he says, "It is due time that my slumber is ended. I will be awake for some time yet. Take your time, but when you are ready, when it feels the right moment for you, do indeed bring, if they would wish, these other viceroys. I would be honored to meet your new friends."
Yeah. To be honest, Moro, I am half tempted to let your nature be a surprise to them, if only to see the looks on their faces.
I am used to the looks that I get, whether out of reverence or pity or to disgust. If you wish it to be a surprise, make it a surprise. I know such things make you happy.
We have to take what pleasures we can in life.
But if I may part with you with one piece of wisdom, Ludwig,
yes.
Life is not about happiness. Life is about more than that. There is an old philosopher of our religion who said that, let me see if I can remember it.
Dixon Wild.
Luxury. He says, luxury is a man-made prison, but contentment is natural-born wealth.
True. I don't remember that. Thank you. And I give him a deep bow before returning to the King's Grace Hotel.
Excellent. Now that he has risen after some months, there are many seekers who would wish to speak to the martyr Moro, and he finds himself quite busy quite quickly. So you leave him in good company, but perhaps maybe a little satisfied to know that the first thing he did when he roused was make time for you.
That's good. That's good to know. So yeah, I'm friends with a mummy.
Yep. Not just the mummy. He's a mummy lord. He's hot shit. That guy.
Mm-hmm.
He may look fucked up, but he's got clout. He's got power.
So do not fuck with him. Do not.
Yeah, he's pretty potent fellow. Okay, so we clearly have a lot to do, and the hour does grow late. Mm-hmm. So next session we will complete our meetings with our people. There's a lot of intrigue at play. This became a complex web of secrets and intrigue that I'm like tingling with excitement over. It's actually very interesting. I'm glad you guys are
we're deep in it now.
I cross your words about your excitement for the new feature in the mark. They gave me a little bit of like a scary thrill.
It's like the one downside to most charms is that like the person you're charming just knows they were charmed at the end of it. It's kind of like, okay, well, anything I do has to be on someone who is essentially inconsequential, where they can't just seek out revenge in any meaningful way. So I'm trying to charm like other houses. It's just a no-go. But now, suddenly there's admittedly obviously the chance they'll figure out anyway, but there's at least room to like take the risk.
Absolutely.
There's a chance of success.
I felt it very important to give you guys Gift of Gab because this is a high consequence game, but I still want you guys to be able to enjoy risk. So I'm interested to see what you do with your new powers, and this auction's going to be pretty cool. I think this is going to be a pretty cool little chapter. I hope people are enjoying it as much as I am. I'm interested to see what you all do. But next session, I think we're gonna I don't know. It's up to you guys how long it's going to take or whatever. But I want, just so you know, I think the gala is going to be. We're going to go back to the partying. I know we really enjoyed the parties and the galas and the romance and the dancing and all that stuff. So we're going to bring that back in soon enough. So thanks for playing, guys. This was a really interesting session. I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and yeah, next session maybe